Welcome back, intrepid investigators. Forgot the little tagline there for a second. We're back.
So
it's been so long. But last time we left off, we had Leviticus Pemberton's funeral, and it went out without a hitch.
Yeah, no problems. Nothing wrong happened.
Not at all. Nobody died.
But we decided to jump into another universe. Because it's like the only thing that in my mind
makes sense.
Would make sense as to what would call it that.
Yeah, I imagine you guys are probably having a bit of trouble wrapping your heads around exactly what has happened, because there are definitely some changes.
I have 25%. Actually 30% Cthulhu mythos.
Mm-hmm.
I got it. It all makes sense up here.
Okay.
Yeah. Shit happens sometimes.
You understand the inner workings of the universe and how all of it connects. Yes. Also, what's your sanity at? Just out of curiosity, how much can I mess with your head before you break?
I have 24.
24. Nice. I think I can. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
I remember being told that I take half sanity loss.
You do take half sanity at this point.
So he's like, great, I can fuck with you a lot.
Yeah. So you got essentially like 30.
Technically, it's 48, Steven. It's fine.
48. So, before we begin, just a bit of a scene here. The camera of the mind pans over a scene of destruction and chaos. There's a cyclone of rubble that was moments ago a regal manor. It's slowly descending to the ground, but for now it still holds the rough shape of a large gateway. In front of this slowly descending ruins is a crowd of people dressed in their Sunday best, all with near identical looks of panic captured on their faces as they scatter in slow motion, but not from the falling manor, instead from the men who stepped out of the 4 cars that arrived through the front gate and began to open
Cares.
We see Annabelle shoved to the ground by a panicked man in a tailored suit, who moments later takes a slow-motion bullet to the side. We see a woman, one of Benny's just countless cousins, trip over a chair trying to flee, and she's gunned down as she struggles to rise. And this is all happening in slow motion. And you can see Annabelle, her hand sort of like reaching out as people trample over her in panic, trying to escape from the gunman. And in all of this chaos, we see the face of Ruth, whose large eyes are locked not on the gunman, who everyone else seems to be paying attention to, instead looking at where the manor used to be. She's being carried away from the gunman by Clarissa, and as they flee, a stray breeze pushes up her hair, and you can see on her forehead a patch of reddish golden moss. Now, they're running towards the small crypt, the one where Benny's granddad was for quite a while. They seem to make it there, kind of like lose track of them as they run, and the view shifts upwards. You can see the men now having pretty much massacred all the attendees of the funeral. They begin to step among the bodies and the rubble of the ruined manor, calling out for Mo. seems like they've lost track of their boss. Now, as we watch, almost in a time lapse, as they move positions, calling out for their boss, occasionally flipping over bodies, one by one they leave in their cars until finally no one is left. And we see Clarissa and Ruth come from the crypt where they were hiding. Clarissa makes her way timidly over towards the bodies, but Ruth runs directly towards the rubble where the gate was. She begins to dig through the debris, tears streaking down her face. And we know that she saw the gate as it formed. She saw everyone leaving, and she wanted to follow, but she couldn't. She was too afraid. Her mind flashing back to the moment when Benny, her uncle, held a gun to her. And the many times that has recurred to her in nightmares, she was too afraid to follow. She didn't quite trust what was going on. Now she knows that she's missed an opportunity, that even though in the back of her mind she knows that nearby her mother and brother are both most likely dead, their
Brother?
Yeah, she has a brother, doesn't she? No, I thought she did. Well, I'm pretty sure you told me she had a brother.
I never mentioned a brother.
Well, never mind.
You created a character.
I created a character.
She has
That's
a brother.
weird thing to do.
She created a character literally just to kill them all.
Just to kill them all. No, I swear, I thought you said she had a brother.
Ruth is a single child.
Well, yeah.
Well, her brother's dead.
Her brother never existed. Maybe she has one in this other reality through the gate that she saw. But
He's dead.
she's digging through this rubble, trying to will this gate back into existence to a reality where her family is still alive. And as that scene fades to night, we see a car pull up, and Izzy and Darlene step out from that. And then the view shifts across the world. You can see as time seems to pass very quickly, brief flashes of struggle as Darlene and Izzy, Ruth as well, try and find a way to create a gate. They are pursued by strange creatures that we only see brief flashes of. In desperation, sacrifice is made of innocent lives to end the attacks from these pursuing creatures. Months pass in a blur. They meet with Faust. The Torch Club becomes a headquarters where they begin to gather other infected in hopes of creating a tulpa. It all seems fruitless, and in desperation, morals slip away as Darlene, Faust, and a reluctant Izzy take to some very questionable methods to try and force a sense of panic and adrenaline from their captured infected. And then on the other side of the world, we see dozens of figures wearing concealing desert robes. They form a loose circle around a hole in the heat of the scorched earth. Equipment has been set up around this hole, and you can tell that it's an active dig site. We see a familiar one-eyed man next to a very weak-looking Annabeth, who is bound by hands and feet with rope. She's looking anywhere but into the pit. The one-eyed man gives her a quick glance and speaks, sounding truly a bit upset. It's a shame you aren't more awake to witness this, but I'm sure somewhere in there you're delighted with your loyal servant's progress. He shifts his gaze to an intricately designed disc of silver, roughly the size of a manhole cover. It's roughly 2 or 3 feet in front of him and directly in front of the pit. We've seen this once before in a previous vision, or at least Parker has. The completed silver disc that you have had fragments of at various points. Now, the one-eyed man, we recognize him as Neiman. He steps forward onto the disc and then kneels down, taking a dagger from his side, and brings the blade up to his own neck, speaking softly as he looks up towards the heavens. All of this for you. And then draws the blade across his own neck. Once again, our view shifts across the world as he sags to the ground, and the blood from the open wound in his neck falls onto the disc. We see brief flashes across the world of people that we know. We see Ruth, the nurse, not
Little Ruthie.
Not Little Ruth, the nurse, with her husband Samuel and their little baby Smitty. Ruth's cleaning dishes and laughing as Samuel plays peekaboo with his son, clueless to their death, which is mere seconds away. We see Marie sitting in her car outside the house she and her husband raised their young children in, the children she can hardly remember. She lights a cigarette, which is trembling in her hands, and she too is unaware that the moment that she takes the first puff will be the last breath she takes. We also see Dr. Gray looking profoundly worried as he's sitting with the phone in his hand, trying to ring the Pemberton estate. We hear the operator on the line saying the last word she'll ever speak. "Your party does not answer, sir. Would you like to call again?" And then, inside the Torch Club, we can see Ruth staring outside the window. There's Darlene standing in front of, to her surprise, a gate which is beginning to form, made of darkness and showing various scenes, all of them having different variations of Parker, but not the one that she wants. Izzy standing nearby, also looking equally surprised, but not by the gate, by the fact that all the scene around them has frozen as time has stopped. And outside the window where Ruth is looking, we can see a bright flash as the sky seems to catch fire. And then, as the gate shifts through various versions of Parker, Darlene searching, we watch as fire consumes the world. Then we see Shay inside the Pemberton estate, thrashing on the bed, as we realize this is who has been witnessing all of this.
Damn.
She is watching as the world burns, screaming in terror, caught in a vision. And Parker, hearing this, comes in from the other room, walks over, begins to shake her, asks what's wrong. She opens her eyes. Yeah, we see Shay thrashing on the bed as she has visions of the world ending, of everything she knew burning. And as Parker comes in, shakes her, tells her to wake up. Her eyes go wide, but they aren't her eyes. She opens her mouth, and we hear Darlene's voice come through, as on the other side, the gate has finally caught on Darlene's Parker. And we hear Darlene's voice.
Go for it, Ryan.
No, I'm not. I can't do the Darlene voice. You know this.
That's my Pookie Bear.
And moments later, all of them have appeared inside the room with Parker and Shay. Faust, Izzy, Ruth, and Darlene.
What, a few months older?
Yeah, about 5 months have passed for them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, this is only about 3 or 4 days after the funeral. Now, a few things have happened since the funeral, a few strange occurrences, things that you're noticing that don't quite match up with where you were from. For example, there is...
A new president.
There is a new president, yeah, President Fairchild, who has mixed reviews. A lot of people are very iffy about him. His political standing is, what? I don't know necessarily what I'm doing here.
Could I have sent a letter?
I feel like this wasn't very well thought out from me.
Wait, okay.
But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Could I have sent a letter to the White House?
Yeah, go.
I'm like,
Dear Mr. President, sir.
Yeah, dear Mr. President, this is Benny.
How you been, man?
How you been?
Yeah, I just want to send him like a, hey man, we know what you did. Like,
smooth move there. Excellent.
I just want to send him a we know what you did letter.
Okay, so yeah, you
Which
have
did last
sent,
summer.
you have sent that. You haven't got a reply yet.
He burned it with the rest of his letters because he's too afraid to reply.
Now, I'd say the most standout, strange thing that's happened to you so far, the biggest difference, aside from it being the 4 Musketeers, not the 3 Musketeers for the candy bar, you know?
Yeah.
It's weird little occurrences like
Ruth has a brother.
Yeah, Ruth has a brother in this reality. Actually, so we'll get to what happens the moment that they appear.
Yeah.
But this is just kind of like catching you back up. What's things you've noticed in the past 4 days. The strangest one being the extra car that was parked at the estate that didn't leave when the funeral attendees had all left. So there's one unaccounted for car. When you check the the registration inside the glove box, it's actually registered to Bo.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean,
Which Gage is not here right now, so we can't necessarily follow up on that plot.
Oh, he knows. He knows what happened.
Yeah.
Gage knows what happened. Awesome.
is that the
I
thing?
feel like I
Is that
missed
the thing he wished for? He's like, I just want a car.
He just
I just want a car,
He
man.
just wanted a car the entire time. That was his entire plot line. He can die happy now.
Yeah.
So that's
He's like, Benny, I want a car, but he's like, we can't afford cars. We go by train, public transit, like everybody else.
But yeah, that so far is like the strangest thing for you guys. Now, Bo has no memory of this car. That's another thing that you know. And Bo also would have noticed that on the registration of the car there is actually a home address. Apparently he has a house.
Where at?
Registered somewhere in Boston.
That is interesting.
Yep.
Boston.
Can I, during the course of the 3 days, can I just get like a read on like what Mr. Wright knows?
Mm-hmm.
Did our adventure in the debrief happen? Like, is he?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, that all definitely happened. Pretty much everything up into the point, like the point of convergence, the point where things got weird, is the funeral, right?
To just get Mr. Wright to just fill us in on what's different.
Not all that much. It's really hard, like, because you don't know what to ask about what might be different, right? You keep coming across these like really minor differences that don't really have anything to do with anything at all necessarily, like 3 Musketeers being 4 Musketeers, you know? Tiny things that are off, but not necessarily different.
Leviticus died. We had his funeral.
Yeah.
We met Grandpa down.
Actually, weirdly enough, Leviticus had people had a slightly higher opinion of Leviticus in this reality for some reason. Yeah,
But he's still dead.
He's still dead.
And we still had his funeral.
You still had his
Do you know
funeral.
a cause of death?
No, we don't actually know a cause of death necessarily.
Interesting.
He went missing.
Grandpa found him in the secret compartment.
No, it was actually in this reality it was Grandma. No, it was it's the same.
Gotcha. Okay, I just wanted to know. So it's just like imperceptible, like small differences that don't matter.
So
Aside from Bob having
You
a
find that your favorite tea flavor has changed slightly.
So for you, there is a moment, because a few people have stayed. It's only been a couple of days since the funeral.
Yeah.
A few people have stayed, just, family. One of them being Annabelle, Ruth, Clarissa. Just, your siblings and niece. You don't have any nephews then, do you? I don't know why
I only have one niece.
Okay.
So
Clarissa, Clarissa like just recently got married.
Okay. So
I'm still a virgin.
No, she's not.
I know, but that was from Konosuba.
Oh yeah.
Everyone knows I'm a virgin.
I fucking love that show.
So you're downstairs. You're eating breakfast. What is that? What is breakfast at the Pemberton estate?
Probably like
Post.
some fancy ass like eggs and bacon.
Okay. Is Mr. Wright cooking? Is Mr. Wright the cook? Who's the cook?
There's cooks. Mr. Wright is like the right hand man.
Okay.
He's just the Alfred. He does everything.
Yeah, I was like, is he your Alfred?
He's the Alfred.
He's like, I cook, I clean, I get no respect around here. He gets the.
So yeah. You're having a delicious breakfast, and you're all just sitting there talking.
I forgot Shay can see now. That's another thing that I forgot.
Yeah, Shay can see, but she's not. She's like still asleep.
She's recovering.
Lady Erin, still there. You and Lady Erin have been hitting it off pretty well in the past little while. Kind of gonna leave that to you whether you've pushed that relationship further or whether.
100%.
Okay.
He's like, no. I got her attention. Fuck that bitch.
All right.
100%, Brian.
Yeah. All right. So I'd say at this point you two are flirting around the idea of actually going on a date or something like that.
Make it official.
Yeah. Exactly. You're
going steady in the apocalypse.
Okay.
What else is there to do?
So you're all just having a fairly nice meal when all of a sudden. Annabelle screams.
Annabelle screams?
Yes. And you look over where she is looking, and you catch a brief glimpse of Ruth as she turns to dust.
She just got Thanos snapped.
She just got Thanos snap at the breakfast table.
So who else is here?
Everyone? Is
Just
everyone there?
just the fam. The main
Yeah, just
fam?
you, Clarissa, Annabelle, Dust, and Lady Erin.
I'm gonna investigate dust pile, I guess.
You're not gonna be in shock first. You're just gonna immediately we have to figure out what this dust
Listen,
is.
by now, crazy shit is the norm.
There.
You gotta investigate dust pile.
So you didn't even have to shoot her. She
You
killed
got-
herself.
Jesus. First it was fucking Madame Zealous, and now it's fucking Ruth, and I didn't actually kill. Both times I was innocent.
What happened
So-
to Madame Zealous?
Star Wars.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was thinking of.
Steven's first.
I never got fucking let go.
No.
But I'm gonna investigate dust pile.
Okay, so as you go over, Annabelle is sifting through the dust, just
Also, see.
No, she's more in mourning because she just watched her child die essentially, and just looks both heartbroken and mentally broken at the same time. You go over and investigate, and her clothes are there, and it's just basically a pile, roughly equivalent to if you turned a human into dust, how much dust there would be. So a decent bit, just in the chair where she was, a fork kind of clattered to the floor. A bit of egg strewn across the ground.
Clean this shit up, mister. I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Grab the vacuum!
Yeah. Ooh, that shit's nasty. Somebody clean this up.
So, like, nothing. I'm gonna just look at Lady Erin.
She's looking just kind of like someone, hit her with a truck. She doesn't know what's going on. This is...
Like someone vaporized a kid.
Yeah, like someone just
just
vaporized a kid in the middle of breakfast.
Man, that must have been terrifying to watch.
I'm at a loss for words. So you can skip me.
Okay.
Because that's what I'm... Like, I don't know...
Meanwhile, upstairs in one of the mini-guest bedrooms, Parker, Ruth, Izzy, Darlene, and Faust just materialized in front of you.
Oh. Oh no. Oh no. Our Ruth vaporized your Ruth from that universe.
Oh.
Fuck. That's sad, but oh well. Sucks. Sucks to suck.
There can only be one.
That's sad. Rest in peace, that Ruth.
So, yeah, you're not aware of anything that just happened
Yeah.
downstairs, but these
Your
people
sister's gonna be happy.
They look haggard. They look tired. Izzy looks like she has been through quite a bit of stuff. Like her usual, she's usually very chipper, right? She looks much more somber. Ruth just looks shell-shocked. You can actually see she looks like she's developing a bit of a tan. Like, more of a sunburn, really.
Is that from nearly being vaporized?
Probably.
Well.
And also, I will say this. The moment that you touched Shay, you could see onto the other side of the portal. So you saw what was going on, but only that very brief moment of the end, essentially.
Just nearly being vaporized, and then you come to and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. Oof.
So I'm obviously not going to make you... if you want me to play the part of Darlene, I can. That way, you're not being Parker and Darlene. Or if you'd rather be Darlene, I can be Parker. Or if you want to be both, that's
I
up to
want to
you.
hear you as Darlene.
Okay. So yeah, she rushes over to you, and it's just like Pookie Bear, and throws her arms around you, hugging you tight. Probably leans in real close, and then says, "You couldn't get away from me."
That's terrifying. He is also shell-shocked and just wide-eyed. Face has not changed since, just terrified looking, because what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, fair enough. At this point, Shay has woken up and is basically just silently sobbing on the bed. So, do you do anything?
Start crying. No, I'm just kidding.
Everyone starts crying.
Yes.
It's great.
Right now, no. He's just too in shock to do much.
Okay.
I guess he's gonna try to get to his feet
All
as
right.
best as he can.
Yeah. So, at this point, I imagine Darlene is probably just like equivalent of talking about her day, but for the past several months. Yeah, 5
just
months.
rambling on.
Just rambling on. None of it makes any sense. There's talking about some disc, some weird doll thing.
Which she still has, by the way.
Yeah, which she still has. Strange smiling man, just a bunch of different things that she's talking about that don't really make all that much sense. Of course, Parker's still like, what the fuck?
Yeah, still
actually, fun thing for Parker, the past couple of days, I imagine you did some poking around and you found out that this universe did not have a Darlene, as far as you could tell.
Dang. She just willed herself into existence here. Impressive. I think. She's pooped. Well, hey, good for her, I guess. She didn't kill anybody.
So, We'll go back down to the kitchen, where things haven't really changed all that much. There are a couple of cleaning people who are standing like kind of at the ready, looking concerned and confused. They didn't see what's going on. They just see like there's a mess. Should we clean it up? Everyone seems really upset about the mess, but not in the usual way.
I am going to go. I guess. I don't know what I'm going to do actually.
At this point, Annabelle is just crying out her daughter's name, sifting through the dust and like pressing it to her face. Just you know what I mean, like you know.
Yeah, like, but still, just it's her eating it.
I'm going to go see if anything weird happened to Parker, I guess.
Alright, so you probably did hear something upstairs because, you know, Shay was screaming.
Crying.
Those two events basically happened in tandem with each other. So you make your way upstairs to where you heard that, and you find in the room Ruth, Izzy, Darlene, Faust, weirdly enough, who's just sort of standing in the corner looking around, looking very intrigued.
That's just how you live.
I'm going to point at Ruth and go, Did you teleport? Because we just saw you get disintegrated.
She's not wearing the same clothes. Like,
We
Ruth
saw
downstairs who's wearing, like,
Pajamas,
like probably a nightgown type thing, because it's early morning.
Yeah.
This Ruth is wearing like grubby clothes that looks like she's worn the same pair for a couple of days.
They might be pea stained
Her
too.
hair, you probably got that cleaned up.
Okay, I hope so. That'll
We saw you get disintegrated down.
Her hair's a bit longer. She actually looks like weird. She looks older.
I am so confused.
Not by much, but she does look older, like she's seen some shit.
Does anyone want to let me know what's going on?
Nah.
Darlene, that might be a good cue if you wanted to as Darlene, fill Benny in.
Okay. I don't know where to start.
Go ahead.
They saw after the funeral, right? Like they came in right out after the funeral, like everybody had left.
Essentially what happened for Darlene is after the funeral, you arrived, you found the manor just leveled. You found Clarissa and...
What the fuck happened to Clarissa?
That's a good question. Clarissa, of course, not being...
infected.
She's not infected. She is Ruth's aunt, not her mother. Basically, she found out that you were, you know, family friends of Ruth, and since you guys basically offered to take care of her, her husband just got murdered, so she kind of had some other things to deal with. Her husband and entire family basically just died, so... she didn't really come along on the adventures that you guys had after that point. But Ruth did fill you in on what she saw, which was basically everything.
Yeah. Alright. So, I guess Darlene's going to turn to Benny and start prattling. We saw the manor after the group left, and when you left us behind, we ended up we tried to replicate the gate. It took us months to try and figure everything out, and I ended up... We saw these creatures, these things. They didn't look real. It looked like a drawing brought to life. And I took Izzy and Ruth to Parker and my house, and they were there. They were looking for something. I tried my best to snoop around, and they nearly caught me, but I found that they were looking for these weird discs, these fragments. we finally went back to your estate, or to your house, and found, we looked to try to tear everything up to try and find another one or something. They'd come to the house, and one of them, he didn't look real. I talked to him. I could kind of see through his ruse, but he tried to portray himself as a police officer. It was strange. He kept playing these weird mind tricks and trying to show me that he had a warrant and he was searching for Parker. So I eventually talked him down and got him to leave, and we found another fragment, something, a chunk of metal. I'm not sure what it is. They broke down the door and chased us out, and I finally ended up trapping them later. It took weeks. Was it weeks or months?
Between
Debate them.
the first encounter and then the moment that you got the disc fragment, you were being chased after that, as they pretty much single-mindedly pursued that.
Yeah. So.
And from that point, after getting it and being chased, it was probably about 2 months on the run.
Gotcha. So we kept hiding and doing our best to avoid them, and I finally, I may have rigged a parking garage to explode as soon as they got there, and we made it out though. They died.
Just not to cut. Why are you here?
Because if we don't prevent them from getting the rest of these discs, that's probably going to happen to us. The world ended.
Shay looks up at this point. She's just been sobbing silently. They don't complete the ritual. They mess it up. They try and contain the sun, but the barrier breaks. Everyone dies.
We have to prevent
I
this.
saw my parents.
Ouch.
What? What was that?
I saw my parents.
Oh.
They just shakes her head. Basically, like, pulls her legs up to her chest.
Okay, well. Maybe we should have a team meeting downstairs. Because from our perspective, Ruth just disintegrated, and Annabelle is still crying.
Now, really quick point of note. Parker, that actually sounds very familiar to you. The disc, the sun,
Yes.
all of that is a vision that you had previously.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely kind of like
It's news
sounds,
to me.
yeah,
Yeah.
news to you, but that sounds familiar. That sounds like something that you saw before.
Yeah. It's all falling into place. Click that piece of the puzzle in. Halfway done. Alright. Yeah.
So you all convene downstairs.
I think a group meeting is necessary.
Faust at this point hasn't really spoken, and he just continues, follows you all down as well.
Is he making Fausty eyes?
He is making Fausty eyes. He is being the most Fausty.
Oh, Fausty.
You actually haven't seen Faust in a while, have you? Yeah.
Give us the update on Fausty.
From his perspective, it's been like 6 or 7 months.
It
Yeah.
has been. Yeah.
If not more, because I think...
Because you guys, kind of left and didn't really...
No, it's been
go
like
back.
8 months.
Yeah.
Months.
Yeah, it's
That's
been
what I'm
almost a
saying.
year since you've
Yeah.
seen Faust.
Yeah.
He still looks like Faust.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed. Doesn't
not much
no,
has
no
changed.
new wrinkles, no...
Yeah,
like...
he has a beard.
What? Does he really?
No.
Oh.
grew a beard of the
Yeah.
apocalypse.
Just
There.
because we haven't seen Faust in forever. Tall, thin but muscular. Basically, if you've ever seen the Hitman games, imagine Agent 47. It is basically just him.
But with spectacles, doesn't he?
But
He's got
yeah,
little-
with Lenin specs. So yeah, you guys make your way downstairs. Everyone now in the kitchen. Annabelle looks up, sees
Annabelle.
Ruth.
Annabelle, you got it right. Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
We
I got it right. Wow.
should not have named those.
You did that, not me.
I know. We should not have named those characters that similarly.
We have 2 Ruths.
Fucked up.
All right, we have 2 Ruths.
I mean, yeah.
We have Ruth.
We made a mistake. We made a deathly mistake.
But honestly, it makes it a tiny bit more realistic.
Yeah, it does. So, Annabelle looks up, sees Ruth. Her eyes go wide, and even though it doesn't make a lick of sense, like, there shouldn't be any way that, you know, she's still alive. You all saw her disintegrate. She rushes over, hugs Ruth, doesn't really seem to question why or how. She's just happy that Ruth's still there. And for Ruth's part, she hugs back. It's been a while since she's seen her mom.
Well, what a lovely reunion.
Even though it's not, it is, but it's not.
So I have
Parallel universes.
so many questions.
Okay.
So you are from the universe that we just left, but 5 months in the future,
Yes.
when the world got destroyed,
Yep.
and somehow managed to come this way
Yep.
5 months in the past.
That sounds about right.
I need a drink.
Pour me one too, please.
So, at this point, I imagine you all pool information.
Mhm.
Is there anything else that you want to bring up that is important, or you consider important to this?
Yes.
And this can be from Parker's perspective or from Darlene's perspective, because both of them do have, separate pieces of the puzzle.
Darlene is, I want to mention, I killed the creatures in the old universe, but I don't know their status in this universe. They may not exist, but they were very persistent and very capable. One was almost like a shapeshifter. It could change into other people. The other was I don't even know how to describe it. It looked like a kid's toy brought to life.
This is going to be a dumb question.
Mm-hmm.
Do I have the number to the White House? Or can I get an operator to get that number?
It's important. I need to talk to the president.
I need to talk to the president ASAP. That's probably going to be tricky to try and do.
I am willing to try.
Well,
As I'm listening to this conversation. Just
Okay, so you're dialing the president right now.
yeah. Or the operator.
The operator. Yeah, I'm gonna say that doesn't really get you any anywhere. You try and call, you try and get a call through the White House, but really the operator basically just tells you that I can't really patch you through the White House. There are certain channels you have to go through to get a call to the president.
I am going to go upstairs.
Otherwise, he'd be being called constantly.
yes.
And grab Dad's old
She does point you towards your representative. She's like, you can call this number if you have any issues with your current political.
I want to go upstairs and get my contact journal, like Dad's contact journal,
Mm-hmm.
and see what names are there.
Okay.
Anything that's closer to the.
Yeah. So.
Maybe Fairchild.
Yeah, Fairchild is not in the contacts list, even though you know for a fact he was in the previous. He wasn't under the name Fairchild, but you had contact with him.
Yeah.
During that entire phase, he's not in here.
Is that number still there though?
No, that number. If you had that book, but you don't, right? If you had the book from your previous universe, it might be the same number. You're not sure. But probably not, because it's not really a personal phone.
Yeah. So
You should call him his house.
I am going to call North Brother Island.
Okay.
via the yellow pages.
Okay.
Or operator, or what the equivalent of.
Alright. So, it rings for a few moments. Oh boy, this is a throwback. So give me one moment to look at my notes to see exactly what that would be. This is a way throwback.
I broke the campaign.
Broke the campaign, Stephen, single-handedly.
I wish to call my oppressors.
Hopefully, I have it on here. I think I should.
I want to pause it then while you're.
Yeah. So yeah, you patch a call through to North Brother Island, and after a few moments, the phone is answered. You hear a fairly chipper-sounding male voice. Riverside Hospital, how can I help you?
Yes, I would like to speak to the person in charge. Would you let them know that Benedict Pemberton is on the line?
Do you mean the head surgeon, sir?
The owner of the building.
Owner of the building. Well,
You know, downstairs.
there's a moment of hesitation and confusion, and he says, "The only thing that's downstairs, sir, is the morgue. I don't think that's where the owner lives, but I can certainly tell him that you called."
Can you? Is he on the premises right now?
I don't believe so, sir. Now, the owner of the building isn't really affiliated with Riverside Hospital. He leases us the property.
And who would that be?
I want you actually to roll a fast talk, because you just said that you wanted to talk to him, and now you're like, but who dat though? Who's the owner? You
Fast
acted like
talk.
you knew him.
I'm pretty good at fast talk. Was it a 20? That's hard.
That's a hard.
That's hard.
Uh,
I'm good at fast talk.
it's a James Torden.
Yes, let him know that I want to speak about secret government stuff. And in addition to the downstairs portion of Riverside Hospital. I'm trying to talk in code.
The secret government stuff. Like,
He's like, that's crazy.
so this is a hospital. I mean, I understand making goofs and prank calls are fun, but this is a hospital. You're tying up an important.
Just let him know that Benedict Pemberton would like to speak with him. My number is 5550123.
Okay, since you did succeed, I'll let you. Like he probably will pass on the message, but he seems skeptical about your intention. The moment you brought up secret government stuff, he's like, "This is a hospital.
Okay.
This isn't a headquarters. This is a hospital."
Okay,
This is a bathtub, lady.
Exactly.
I'm gonna hang up,
This is-
and I guess I'm gonna go check the.
Bathtub.
I want to go check the mail.
Need a lifeguard for your beach.
I want to check the mail.
All right. So yeah, you go and check the mail. You're just like basically almost to a point going about the day to day, while meanwhile chaos is to a
Listen,
point. So
we thrive in chaos, and
you do.
I'm trying to.
You're trying to get things done, but it might seem to the rest of your family that you're just like nonchalantly like, yeah, this is the norm. Ruth turned to dust and then just came downstairs, but not the same Ruth, but same enough, I guess.
Well, I have enough sanity hits that I'm quirky.
Yeah.
Again, chill,
See,
but also wacky grandpa.
I'm playing it off like you're to a point that's just like not really fazed by all of this and just going about the day to day, and everyone else is freaking out.
It's like first time.
So as you're walking out towards the mail, I just caught it.
First time.
It's a good movie.
As you're walking out towards the mailbox, Lady Erin rushes to catch up with you. So I'll get to that in a moment. Parker, Darlene, what are you doing at this point?
Darlene's doing what she does best, and she's probably just hanging off of Parker's arm, like talking nonstop.
All right. And Parker?
Just sitting there, looking a little miserable.
Okay, sitting there looking miserable. Good.
Like he does.
Good.
Good. Yeah.
I think at this point things have, for the most part, calmed down, and Izzy is going through and kind of like bringing up what she thinks would be important. She is listing off essentially what she thinks would be a good idea for you guys to do now that you know what's going to happen. She's like essentially, I think first things first, we should probably go to your house, Parker, because that's where they came first.
Yes, it is.
And maybe if we can get the fragment before they can, or we could even maybe lay a trap for them, because we know they're coming, or at least they did where we were at in the other universe, or whatever we're calling it. So we could go there. We already have, I take it Darlene's probably taken out the fragment to, kind of show around and be like, hey, this is the thing that they were chasing.
And the doll, she's holding the...
Yeah.
The
doll.
Mysterious doll.
Like an Animal Crossing character.
Yeah.
Everyone clapping.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Parker's just still doing, the after the shock face where the eyes are really small.
Yeah.
He just is in that face the entire time.
Yeah. It's like one of those things where they do like the phases of life, and literally he's going through all these different phases, but he doesn't change. He's constantly making that shocked face.
So...
I broke him.
Izzy is laying out what she thinks would be best to do. Darlene shows off the artifact and also the doll. And the only people here, Izzy actually mentions there might actually be a second doll. I don't know how that works. Ruth got
vaporized.
At this point, she just stops, looks over at Annabelle, and just doesn't say anything.
she leans in and does the loud whisper, vaporized.
So
Annabelle starts sobbing again.
Maybe the doll did too, or maybe not. I don't know if it only works for people or if it works for weird artifacts or just anything.
Doesn't hurt to check. I mean, would that not mean there's another fragment in that one?
Probably. If the doll's there, then there would be a second fragment. I guess it would be the same one, so it would have two of the same puzzle piece, but either way, we probably don't want the things to get it.
That's fair. Maybe if they do get it, it'll throw them for a loop because they have an extra piece. Like, imagine putting a puzzle together and there's an extra piece.
Wait, a doll was a fragment?
No, the fragment was in the doll.
Yeah, the doll that you got from Krampus?
Yeah. It's fucking weird.
It still has a point. There's a reason it's there.
I hate the fact that this all makes sense in context.
Yeah, the doll you got from Krampus.
Yeah, when we fucking killed Santa Claus.
The wacky nonsense of this campaign is great. So,
that was my goal. I was like, oh,
and you wonder why Betty just fucking goes, yeah, I got a case to solve.
Yeah, it'll all work out. I'll come out in the wash. It'll be a-okay. We'll figure things out.
So yeah, at this point, Shay kind of shakes her head. She seems to have a little more insight on what the cult is up to. Since she saw basically the entirety of what's going on. And she says they don't need all of the pieces. But having all of the pieces would help they finish their goal faster. They can forge a new piece, but it's a lot faster if they just have all of them.
How do we stop them from forging?
I guess we go and, stop them. But the less they have, the harder it is for them to do.
So we're just buying ourselves time at the moment.
Yeah.
I
don't know how much time we're buying, but you kept that out of their hands, right?
Yeah.
Probably would have happened a lot faster. You might not have made it back if you didn't keep it
I was
out of their
saying it bought
hands.
us, 5 months? Or, 3 months? Or
Basically, if they get all of the pieces, it would only take a couple of days to forge it into.
And it took them months instead.
No.
Okay, and that was just one piece.
That was just one piece.
Damn, son.
And looking at this thing, you can kind of understand why. This is a very intricate, and we're talking like there are patterns on it that the closer you look at it, it's amazing that this thing was even created. Even though it's just a tiny fragment, you can see patterns within patterns on it. So the amount of time that it would take to complete the entire thing, it might not even be possible. And essentially, from what you understand and the reality that you came from, they had all but the one piece that you kept away from them.
Gotcha. So we need to find the rest of them
And also, Shay brings this up. If we had all of the pieces, we might be able to use it for ourselves.
What would we use it for?
From what I've seen, it seems like it's sort of an amplifier to magic. But I also think it requires a sacrifice. At this point, she feels it. She says, Before the world caught fire, I saw there was a man, he only had one eye. He had an eye patch. He slit his own throat to complete a sacrifice. It looked like he was trying to put up a barrier to contain the sun so they could channel it downward. But the barrier wasn't strong enough. I'm not entirely sure why.
I'm not here, so you're looking.
Yeah. But we'll catch you back up. Essentially, assume that you have that information because everyone. At this point, I want to more like pooling information, less fragmented pieces because it's really hard to keep track.
No, fragmented pieces is good. That way no one knows. The enemy doesn't know what we're doing because neither do we.
That's how Americans do war.
That's how Americans do war.
Okay, so I guess our next line of action is to start hunting down these pieces.
So at this point, Lady Erin catches up to you, and you guys reach the mailbox here, going through the bills, essentially. And she says, "So what's the plan?"
Well, if we can get in touch with President Fairchild.
I'm never going to get used to that. He's not even my president.
I definitely didn't vote for him.
I didn't vote.
Hashtag not my president.
Hashtag Monty Python reference. I'm the king. I didn't vote for you. But
Hashtag French
but
tours.
he knows a fair bit of what's going on here, so I'm sure that he would like to, at the very least, help us, stop the end of the world.
I feel like that's in everyone's best interest. I think that it might be good if I got in contact with Andre. He may be able to help us figure something out.
But
researcher and all.
If he's still alive.
Andre came across with you guys.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that.
He went back home because it's like it's been 3 days. He's like, I'm gonna go check out and see how much
Shit's changed.
Yeah, how much shit's changed.
But I know you're not
I
going.
love that
Ever had a
artifact.
Snockers before? It's like a Snickers but different.
I know you're not going to like me suggesting this, but it may be to our benefit to get not only the Templar help, but also the Illuminati help.
I was afraid you might mention that. See, I don't trust them is the problem. I'm not sure they're not part of this.
Well,
And what of Dr. Gray?
he's been helping in the old universe, at least. I mean, for now, he could be. I'm trying to think. I was going to call him Lex Luthor, but I'm pretty sure that character didn't exist in 1920.
Comics didn't exist yet.
Yeah, I was trying to say, I was like,
He is the.
But in this universe,
But
in this universe, we already have the MCU.
yeah.
We can make all those references. Actually, Ruth, because she's a big fan of the MCU, at least this universe, Ruth, right before it happened, she said, "I'm not feeling so good, Mr. Benny."
I got that reference. But
Oh no.
but
oh, so good, Uncle Benny.
but for all we know, he could be the big bad, the BBEG, if you will, big bad evil guy, an acronym that I created just now.
You should copyright that before anyone uses it.
Fuck you, TV tropes. But I do think that the Illuminati has a vested interest in preventing the end of the world, since, they want money and to rule the whole shit. So maybe they'll help us.
Maybe they will. I'd rather not deal with them personally, but if you think that's what's best, I won't try and stop you.
I am well aware that you would not like to deal with them, so you don't have to. You can work on the Templar side and I'll work on the Illuminati side, and we're, co-conspirators and playing them against each other.
Sounds fair, although I don't know if we so much want them to be playing against each other as we're trying to get them to work together to stop the end of the world. But I get where you're coming from.
We're tricking them to think that they're working against each other, but they're actually working together for our common interest, saving the world.
Ah, yes, such an easy task. Pitting the Illuminati against the Templar for our own gain. I'm sure nothing could go wrong.
It won't be easy, but we're also being asked to save the world. And there's 5 of us? 6 of us?
There's a number of us.
There's a surprising amount of us, considering there's only 3 players. It's a staggering amount, really.
Welcome to Star Wars. There's going to be fucking 300 characters.
We can't help it.
But,
Some more characters.
Every time we see an NPC, but I love him, though.
Yeah, you're coming with us.
Do I have a letter from the president?
You do not have a letter from the president.
Laser.
You do not. You do have a laser from the president, but not a letter.
I'll help. It'll help.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, no letters from the president. Granted, it's only been a couple of days.
Snail mail, right?
You would think that the president would have,
Mr. Mail.
telegrams or something magic.
Be more punctual.
It'd be more punctual. It's the fucking president.
It's fucking 1921. What is this bitch doing?
And it's the end
The
of the
future.
Figuring
And
out what exactly a president does.
It's the end
It's
of
like, oh, I didn't think this through.
and it's the end of the
Should've
world.
studied.
You'd think he'd care about that.
He doesn't know that part necessarily. Like, you guys are just finding that bit out.
I'm sending him another
What,
letter.
sorry?
The end of the world thing.
Yeah.
I'm sending him
And it's just
another.
like, well, I guess I'm president now. What the hell?
I'm going to send him another letter.
Okay.
Dear,
So yeah, you go back in to compose the letter. At this point,
Dearest President, It is your friend Benny. May I remind you that the world is ending. It would be real cool if the American government would help us.
Gosh, it sure would be swell, Mr. President, if you'd lend us your aid.
Your dearest compatriot, Benedict Bedford Pemberton.
Your middle name Bedford?
Yes.
Oh.
BBP.
Don't Google who that is.
Immediately goes to Google.
Remember who Leviticus's grandparents and parent is when I came up with that middle name.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So
immediately Brian goes, I may have an idea.
So you
Send that.
you go back inside to start composing a letter. At this point, Izzy is going over what needs to be done. Lady Erin goes to go and get a hold of Andre. So yeah, you get your letter composed and sent off. Is there anything that you would like to do? Like what is the plan right now? Aside from trying to get a hold of the president, which doesn't seem to be happening.
I'm going to put on my normal attire
Mm-hmm.
and also that silver chainmail.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope that the gate still exists in my closet.
It does.
Oh, thank God.
Oops.
Wow.
And I am going to attempt to go to the Gray Estate.
All right.
I'm not finding anything. What am I Googling?
I'm not good. I will send you
Okay.
the Wikipedia article.
I'm scared. Okay. Continue.
So, are you going along Parker/Darlene?
Where are we going? Sorry. I was trying to Google who this person
He's going to the Gray Estate. Now, keep in mind, you have a pretty good idea of what is going to be happening in the coming days and weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You know that you have, at your estimation, about 3 days. Now, that's if nothing has changed. There is one thing to consider, that it seems like these things have some sort of connection to the fragments, and they don't really, they are very good at tracking them down. So it may be that something is changed by the very presence of the artifact you have now.
Hmm.
So you don't know whether they are going to go on the same timeline that they did.
Yeah.
You can't really guarantee it, but it's the most concrete bit of intel that you have.
Alright.
So you know in about 3 days they're going to go to Parker's home in Louisiana and take the fragment that was stored in his desk.
Yeah. I guess. I don't want to split the party. Darlene will go to the Gray Estate. Home, whatever. Fuck. I don't know. We'll go see Dr. Gray. But honestly, Parker's probably going to get Izzy's attention and ask her to go to his house so she can help him find the thing. Because she was there. So, Darlene goes to Gray's.
Okay.
Parker wants Izzy, who kind of knows a little bit more about it, to take her to his house.
And we'll just say...
Who has... does Darlene still have the fragment that you brought from your... Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And we'll just say that Bo goes with Parker and Aaron goes...
Bo is not there.
Bo's not here?
Bo went to go to his house.
He said, I got a car in the
has
house.
now.
That's right.
So he's like, I'm going to go check this out. I'll only be gone a couple days.
Okay.
Now he wanted to test out that brand new car.
Yeah, he's joyriding.
So, I guess Aaron can go with you?
I don't care if she goes with you guys. I mean...
You may be in danger.
Well, he said the time... Well, yeah, the timeline may have changed, but...
We'll be fine. We're just going to go chat.
She can.
Yeah.
Alright.
Also, I don't think she wants to have anything to do with the Illuminati.
That's fair.
Yeah. So, we'll see.
So you go with Parker, Lady Aaron, and Izzy.
Yeah.
And then it's Darlene and Benny.
Okay, Darlene and Benny going to the Gray Estate. You go through the Hollow Earth
Closet. Yes, the Hollow Earth closet.
The Hollow Earth closet.
We're all going into the closet. Woo! Wouldn't be the first
When
time.
you finally come out of the closet, you find yourself in the bottom of Dr. Gray's manor and begin the slow ride up. You find yourselves in his home in New York. It's still fairly early in the morning. And yeah, he is he's probably talking to someone when you guys arrive.
Listen in.
No.
Oh.
No.
Not in the mood.
Okay.
You need to listen in.
Hello there, Dr. Gray.
Okay. So you see that he is currently he's talking to, and it just seems like a casual, for the most part, like having a spot of breakfast together with a woman in her mid 30s. So immediately snapped to attention.
Because I think I may know who it is. We'll see. Maybe not.
A woman in her mid 30s, rather stern looking, but not fairly remarkable in any regard. Just basically two of them having breakfast together, having a conversation, and when you arrive and come out. She looks up. She looks a little bit concerned and confused. He turns around, sees you. His brow furrows for a moment as he looks between the two of you, and he says, "Excuse me a moment, Matilda. I need to speak with my guests."
Not who I thought it was.
Who'd you think it was? I'm curious.
Esther.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Esther.
I was like, that ain't good. That is decidedly very bad.
So he comes over. He just basically walks over, stops, and is giving you both a analytical gaze.
Do you remember us, Doctor?
Well, of course I remember you.
Now,
It has been a while.
I want to ask you a few questions, if that's okay.
Seems like all you ever come to do is ask questions.
He's not wrong.
You may want to send your lady friend home.
Must you always be so rude?
Well, I'm gonna take off my glove and show him the hole in my hand. I took a stop by North Brother Island a few months ago, actually. And some parts of your story don't really add up.
So at this point, when you say North Brother Island, you see his gaze becomes cold, and he speaks. You hear his voice layered multiple times, like it's echoing across itself. And he says, "Please sit down." Yeah, you need to roll a willpower check. Darlene, you don't.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Darlene, you hear his voice. It definitely sounds different, but not that different.
Yeah. Oh, you rolled two the same one.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
No, this the. Okay, we'll roll it.
Just roll the.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
roll it. That's a fail.
So yeah, you immediately sit down on the floor. I'm going to... actually, Darlene, what do? You see this happen.
I guess, I don't know. She's probably just going to kind of stand there a little weirded out and go, what are you doing to him?
You see him look a little bit shocked. As he says, please, sit down. And you feel almost a tickle at the back of your head, but no. What do you do, though? You know, like, you've come in contact with something very similar, so you know what he's trying to do. So you can either play along, or you can clearly resist.
Do I pull a badass move, or do I be sneaky? She's gonna play along.
Okay. So yeah, you sit down. He
very calm.
Yeah, he nods his head. Yes, this is
how things should be.
This is how things should be. And he goes back and he continues his meal. And Darlene, you, by the way, Benny, as you're sitting there, you're basically staring straight forward as you hear his voice just echoing, bouncing in your head, and you just hear the words repeatedly over and over. Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
And you got your sit boy.
And it's becoming a dull throb in your head. And actually, Darlene, you see a bit of blood trickling from his nose.
Can she go very, I don't want to say stealthily, but just kind of discreetly, like, try and elbow him to see if she can knock him out of it without bringing attention?
Yeah, if you want to, that'd be a stealth.
Oh, fuck me. My stealth is not good.
Didn't you succeed? No, you had used luck, though, didn't you?
Yeah. So
we know that he's a bad guy now.
In this universe.
Or he's just fed up.
Yeah.
He sort of came into his house and was like, no, you're done with your meal, we're having a conversation, tell your friend to go home. And he's like, this is my house, bitch. Let it fail?
That is, do I spend luck? Because it would only be 3 points of luck. I'm already in the shitter now, might as well.
Okay.
So alright.
Yeah, you lean over and you kind of elbow him in the side. I'm going to let you roll another roll.
12.
That is a
Is it?
regular success. 42.
Oh, 42.
It's a regular
I thought
success.
That was one.
Regular success. Okay. So, yeah, the voice slowly fades to the back of your mind. It's still there, and you still feel compelled to sit, but you know you could stand. You're also in the same position, though, that if you stand up, he's going to know that, you two have essentially broken free. So, that's up to you.
I'm going to just, wipe my nose and just look at Darlene and just kind of give a nod.
My back.
Okay. So across the room, he's still continuing his meal with the woman who, at first you took her to look stern, but now you realize she is staring straight ahead, eating methodically, almost like a robot. It's pretty clear, considering what you just experienced, that she's not necessarily here by choice.
Is she like a standing wasp, like a fake wasp?
Dr. Gray, I truly apologize for my interruption. Would you please come here so we can talk?
Stay quiet.
He stands once again, looks at the woman he called Matilda, apologetically, which is strange, because it doesn't seem like she has much choice to be there. Then walks back over to you, looks down at you, almost puzzled. He says, "Fine. What is it?"
So, I realized when I went to North Brother Island that it would have been really hard for a single person to break us out like that.
Yes. And?
So I don't think you betrayed the Illuminati at all. And I think that you're working in tandem with them.
It only took you over a year to figure it out. But, as any good ruse, it must come to an end, I suppose. I'm sure by now you've seen what we're facing.
Doctor, are you, dominating Matilda's mind?
Yes.
Is it because you're a, sad old fart that can't get a real date?
Fuck.
You would think something so childish. No. She is my subordinate. I'm giving her orders. I wanted to have a pleasant meal, as I told her what she needs to be doing for the next few months.
So, you keep her under your spell?
Not at all times.
So you're forcing her to eat with you because you're a sad old fart.
Matilda, you're enjoying your meal, aren't you? Yes, sir. See? She's perfectly happy.
Alright, I want to punch him in the dick.
Roll the punching dick! Critical success. He's dead.
So
I'll give it. Didn't mean for it to go
going
that far.
to look at him and go,
By the way, just because I'm sure it's occurred, there's definitely a tonal shift between this Dr. Gray and the Gray that you came from. Like,
Oh, I noticed.
you don't know if the other one was up to this, but
We need to go
you don't.
back.
You do also, you saw him have this sort of power, but he seemed reluctant when he used it last.
We
Dr.
need
Gray,
to go back in time and get our old Dr. Gray and bring him to the new universe.
have you always been so quick to use Dominate Mind?
Or any spot for that matter.
It's not important. Listen, I would like to finish my meal. My eggs are getting cold.
Is it
Please.
Eggs Benedict? Nice version. Continue.
Please, refrain from asking stupid questions.
I'm going to, like, stand up,
Mm-hmm.
look him in the eyes, and go, why did you let us go when we were captured?
Because you were the successful cases.
And how many people died that weren't successful?
Roughly 40 or so.
I'm going to throw a punch
Alright.
at his face.
I'm gonna scoot out of the way.
I'm a punch.
Roll punch.
And I have a dex of 85.
Alright, so we're gonna have a quick, you have a dex of 85?
Yeah.
Let me just real quick check it.
I'm pretty sure I'm one of the quicker members of the cast.
Yeah, I think you're the quickest.
Yeah.
Hold up. Oh, right.
Because initiative is literally based off dex.
Nope.
You said, I want to make a character that can run
All
and
right.
get out of situations.
He does actually beat you.
Wow.
He does actually have a higher dex.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
So he is going to. He's not going to, throw a punch or anything like that. I imagine, sees your fist coming though.
Yeah.
Right. This is kind of how combat works. Like,
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'll give you a +10 because you
Element
are the
surprise?
one that's choosing to punch, right?
Element
So I'm gonna give you a
surprise.
+10 on that dex.
So I get to-
So you do beat him just barely.
I get the pawn.
He had 80, you have 75. So you
No, I had 85.
Oh, you have 85. I'm sorry. Yeah, you were already good. He had 80. So
I have the
I
quick.
thought you had 70.
No, I have 85.
Yeah, you're
I'm
good.
quick as fuck, bro.
Yeah, you punch him in the
That's
face,
the
or
foot,
we'll see if you punch him in the face because he is going to attempt to dodge.
Find my brawl stat real quick.
Your what stat?
My brawl stat.
Oh.
I can't push it, can I?
You can't push in combat.
Nope. I'll whiff it.
You whiff it, so he doesn't even really need to dodge. And
No.
instead, he is going to attempt to fight back. Now I'm going to say he still dodged because I'm pretty sure rules-wise you choose at the time.
Beginning of
Yeah,
the-
you don't decide when you see what the roll is. So yeah, he basically dodged. You just barely miss his face. And he, once again with that same commanding tone, says, "Stop right now." And get to roll a power check. 48. So this is an opposed power. How much? What level of success are you?
Just
at?
one success.
Just one success. So we will see whether you actually do truly beat him or not. 49. You said you just have a regular success. Yep. All right. Man, I don't have actually the fourths and such value. I probably should.
Just so I can get out the calculator if you need me to.
Yeah, can you do that for me?
Okay. So, what is his stat?
155
What?
power.
That's a hard. Yeah, that's a hard. He beats me.
First off, what the fuck?
Part 2!
I'm bamboozled.
Yeah, you find yourself, you throw the punch and then you're just frozen in places. You hear his voice echoing through your mind.
Darlene stands up immediately.
Okay. Darlene, yeah, you're not affected by this.
No.
He begins to circle you. He hasn't, I don't think, that's the thing. He is confident. You haven't really seen this confidence on the old doctor. This one...
He was not, I won't say bumbling, but definitely not as sure of himself.
He begins circling you. He hasn't noticed that Darlene stood. Says, "You seem so upset, Benedict. You have to understand, things need to be done for the greater good. I saw the threat that my experiment posed to this planet. So, I had to make some sacrifices. A small breach in security. A collection of the populace infected. Those that survived and gained the powers I was looking for were allowed to escape under the ruse that they were being aided by me, and in return, I would aid them. And we could continue this arrangement. It would be beneficial to both of us. I need you to find patient 6, and you need me to continue living."
Patient 6.
I am going to kick your teeth in.
It'd be very hard to do that, since you can't even move your leg right now.
I really liked the old you. The old you was nice. You're a bit of a prick.
So he stops in front of you, Darlene, what have you done? Like you said, you're standing up, but he's like focused on Benny.
That's the plan.
So Darlene, what are you doing?
Fuck me. Let me see real quick.
I have what I would do.
What would
but
you
it's
do?
hard. It's hard. One, that's metagaming for me to tell you what I would do.
You do have a
And
mental
two-
connection.
But I don't know if he has one.
That's true. You might be able to pick up on it.
Yeah, so that's why I'm not sending.
Although
you
actually, no,
mental
you don't
bombs.
know if you could message.
Yeah, he
probably
doesn't know.
couldn't. You probably couldn't.
In this situation now.
And I can't move,
Yeah.
so I can't do any like discreet signal or.
I can pull a gun on him.
Well, it's whatever your move is.
I don't know. Just tell me what you're doing. I'm not going to do it, but I just want to know.
I was going to say free Matilda.
Yeah. I actually did consider that, but I don't know what it would do.
But that's what I would do. But
So at this point, since Darlene, you're trying like basically almost
Panicking,
paralyzed. Yeah. Not sure what needs to be done here.
I'm being a distraction.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure
Benny's
something
good
out.
at this.
Dr. Gray has stopped in front of you, and he brings from his inner jacket a pistol which he presses to your forehead. So, I think it's time that you made a choice. I've been misleading you for a long time, but you understand what's on the table. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Either you help me and save the world, or I find someone else. It would be inconvenient and, admittedly, a little messy. I don't like getting blood on my hands. But if I have to, you're much more dangerous as a rogue agent.
Can I shoot him in the dick?
You can certainly try.
Alright. Straight up whip out a handgun. That's a success. That is
I was gonna be doing
heart.
badass boast if I had the time.
Mhm.
But
I mean, if you want to throw a one-liner before it, because you see as he
Like
is
out the
holding the
corner.
gun to your head, it's that classic scene of like gun held to head, but someone behind with the gun held.
like the meme with the person in the red shirt.
Yep.
Darlene ready to shoot his
So
dick
yeah,
off.
you see as Darlene lifts the gun.
Yeah, just out of the corner of your eye, you see
He was
her
like-
slowly.
I mean, like Darlene is behind him essentially,
Oh,
looking.
even better.
head
I was
Wait,
like,
no, I need to shoot him in the dick.
on. You actually want to shoot him in the dick
Yes.
because that probably won't kill him.
the goal isn't to
Fuck.
kill.
Yeah.
It'll hurt.
It'll
He
kill him
won't
on
have
the
a dick.
inside.
I was like,
My dick. Okay, I'm going to shoot to injure first, and then I'll shoot again. I'll make another shot.
but I was going to say, I turned down immortality. I'm not going to side with you.
All right. I suppose you die a fool's death. And he pulls back the hammer, and then you pull the trigger.
Yes. And shoot his dick off.
So yeah, go ahead.
This is
and,
an MMA
you definitely have advantage. He has no idea that you're about to shoot him.
She rolled a
I rolled.
success.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
rolled
rolled a
22. It's a hard success.
Do you want to roll again just to see if you get?
Nah.
Okay.
I mean,
So yeah, hard success.
Hard success. I shoot him in the dick.
All right. So first off, what's the damage on that gun?
1d10 plus 2, I thought. No, 1d10
Just-
plus 2. If it's a 45 automatic, it's a 1d10 plus 2.
Okay. Mine just says 1d10 and handgun. I didn't write the specifics. I know that was something we talked about a while ago. Okay.
If it's the same gun that I have, it's a 1d10 plus 2.
Okay. So 5 points of damage.
5 points of damage.
Mhm.
Okay, that's a good amount. He lets out a scream of pain as you shoot him. I imagine, like in the. Do you really want to try and shoot him in the dick? Because like that would be kind of hard. You are behind him.
Could I have,
give
like-
him the old reach around, break your wrist.
Ooh. Could I have like run up to the side and then shot him in the dick? Possibly.
I feel like you lose the element
Yeah.
of surprise.
Okay.
doing
The
that.
leg's fine. The
Okay.
leg is still a win.
She gets down on the ground and aims at it. He's like, my tank!
Oh no.
You also have a chance of shooting me.
Yeah. I guess she's just going to shoot him in the back. Like, in the hand he has the gun with.
Okay, yeah. So, at this point, several things happen at once.
Mm-hmm.
He stumbles forward, blood splattering from his shoulder. He drops the gun to the floor, I imagine. And he also loses his hold over you. That voice in your mind disappears, and you see Matilda suddenly stand up.
Does she look shocked or does she look angry?
Yeah, she looks shocked. I mean, gunfire's going
Yeah.
off. Most people would look shocked.
Can I roll to shoot him in the dick again, like this time?
Well, technically it is his.
Okay, that's
or
fine.
it's either.
I have the fastest dex.
You do have the fastest deck, so I'll let you go.
Grab that gun, bro.
Yeah, I'm going. Can I just try to, like, take the magazine out of the gun?
If you want, yeah. If you want to take the magazine out of the gun that he dropped.
Or do you want to just wield it?
Yeah,
It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll just go ahead.
He dropped the gun.
I thought he still had it. I'll just grab his gun.
Okay, yeah, you grab his gun. What do you do with it?
I'm going to point it,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to just say, if you say the beginning of a sentence, I will shoot you.
I guess Darlene's, while this is happening, if she can, she's gonna run over to Matilda and try to grab her and pull her and like, we have to go.
Alright, so as you run over to Matilda, you're like running towards her, and then your eyes go wide as you see her reach, I suppose into her jacket as well, and pull out a gun of her own.
Okay.
Which she points at you.
She's just going to be like, we're trying to save you.
I don't need saving. And then, probably going to take a shot, actually, since you just shot Dr. Gray.
Okay. Well,
Not necessarily where I expected things to go,
Yeah.
but
I guess I'm gonna roll dodge.
you're gonna dodge.
Attempt.
So this is a
That's your action to do
this is your action if you want to just jump for cover as you see the gun drawn on you. You roll your dodge. It's either that or you just hope that they miss.
Okay, I'm gonna roll the dodge.
Okay. So yeah, you jump for cover as you see the gun drawn and see the intent to fire. So go ahead and roll a dodge.
Okay. Ooh, that is a fail.
Okay.
That's not good.
That is
Yeah.
good.
You like look left and right. There's not really anywhere to go, and you try and run like around a corner, to get wall cover. But as you run, she shoots. With a 92, however, you running seems to have at least done the trick, and the bullets just like ping into the wall around you.
All right.
You're now standing with Gray. You hear gunfire going off behind you. You're not entirely sure what's going on, but Dr. Gray hasn't spoken, at least. He does seem to take your threat seriously.
Matilda, if you move, I will shoot him.
You hear a clatter.
Well, free will has its perks.
Darlene's going to carefully kind of peek around and see if she actually dropped her gun.
She dropped her gun.
Okay. Darlene's totally mumbling about this crazy bitch and just trying to shoot her after
So,
they freed her. The crazy bitch.
Dr. Gray, you are not going to speak, but you are going to write your answers down. Who is patient 6? Or just nodding works too. Is patient 6 Annabeth?
He nods his head.
I thought
He looks a little confused.
I thought she was patient 0. She not patient 0? Am I missing something here?
She was totally patient zero.
Okay, she was
Different universes.
different universes. So wait, he's a real bad guy, and
Yeah.
not like The flip-flop bad guy that we had?
No, this one's legit. He's an actual legitimate. Sorry, that's not time appropriate. He's a legitimate bad guy.
The new universe was not kind to you, Dr. Gray.
He still looks confused.
So, we are not the Benny and Darlene that you know. I come from another. I come from another universe.
He doesn't know me.
Where you were not that much. Oh, that's why the spells didn't affect you.
Because you said there wasn't a Darlene in this universe.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. That's why the spells didn't affect.
You're right.
That's why the spells...
Parker kind of.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But.
You don't know if that's necessarily how that operates, but that might just be.
You were way less of a dick.
He doesn't say anything.
Do you want some paper to write down anything, or?
Slow shrug of the shoulders. One slight wince.
You're welcome.
Should we just shoot him and be done with this?
Oh, we could take.
He raises a hand, and then just sort of nods. He points over to a stack of paper and nods his head. Should we shoot him? He nods. Just kill me.
End it all, son. End it all.
Will you watch both of them? Or as I'm like gun held on him as I'm going to like reach for the paper and pencil and like toss it to him.
Yeah.
So he spends a few moments writing. Seems like he's writing with his bad hand because he got shot in the shoulder with his, the one that was holding the gun. So he...
I'm going to rethink my life choices because that was very Parker of me.
He...
Fuck, he's rubbing off on me.
He eventually hands you a paper that looks a little bit poorly, like the handwriting is not as good.
No.
But it says, "You've stepped in the bee's nest now. Even if you kill me, you're a dead man. Me being alive is the only way you can continue to be alive as well."
So we take him hostage.
Why would the Illuminati kill us for?
He writes down something quickly and then holds it up to you. It just says "Dead Man Switch."
Do I know what a dead man switch is?
Probably, yeah.
I hate you so very much. Like, so very much. But, say I let you go here. What's not stopping you from going to the Illuminati and declaring me a rogue agent, as you so put it?
There's a long few moments, and he eventually writes down on a piece of paper, "I suppose you have to trust me. Maybe you should have thought about this before you decided that you didn't want to work together after all."
Can I get a read on him to see if he's actually being...
It's hard to tell. He's just writing on paper now. Like, that's kind of the downside of him not speaking.
Yeah.
I'll let you roll an insight check, but it's going to be pretty much an extreme difficulty to get intent out of paper.
No. So, do you happen to have President Fairchild's number on your disposal?
He writes it down.
Bitch.
Wow, that's actually very forthright. Did you know that he was an agent in the last war? He's the president now.
He writes down, "I have no idea what you're talking about."
You trust me. If you weren't a villain, we would have so much stuff to talk about.
Like I said, we kidnap him. We just take him hostage.
But I'm gonna
You could use Dominate Mind.
You might also, there might be, well, no, I don't want to, God.
I'm gonna mosey.
The problem with being a DM is I want to guide you guys towards things, but
okay.
I don't want to.
So we're gonna make a deal.
Just saying
Okay.
his house might be not like he's not the only person. His house might be too.
I want to make a deal with you, Dr. Gray.
Mm-hmm.
If this phone gets me to the president, we can negotiate our terms. Nod yes if you are okay with that.
He nods his head.
I'm gonna like.
You hear Matilda behind. Basically, just yell. No matter what you do, you're dead.
You weren't even in the last universe. Shut up.
See, I don't know what that means, but I totally was. You just didn't see me. I was there the entire time.
She's like a Karen. She's like, I don't know what that means, but I totally was. Bitch.
I'm gonna like dial as the
Offended.
guns pointed on him. Dial that number and just hold it up to my phone. Hold it up to my ear.
Yeah, your phone. Your
Hold it
phone
up to
ear.
my ear.
Yes. Okay.
Not kid.
Oh, the two phones again.
But
Oh Lord.
and just let it ring, I guess.
All right, so the phone rings once and then picks up. President Fairchild.
Well, hello, Mr. President.
Does he recognize?
I don't think so. Maybe. Do I know you?
Yes, you went to a funeral of my father's not too long ago.
Benedict?
Yes.
God, it's very, it's hard not to fall into that accent now. Benedict.
Yes, Agent Pemberton.
So.
Agent Pemberton, Agent Fairchild.
Agent Fairchild. Damn it!
It's all bleeding together. The universe is falling apart. Cohesion.
Agent Fairchild, yes.
I guess it's President Fairchild now.
I didn't vote
Hey.
for you.
Yeah, me either. I didn't really want this. Then he said, shit. I didn't really want this.
So,
It just sort of happened, I guess.
He wouldn't.
Part of me wanted power, and this is what I got.
so
Monkey's paw. It's really not great, trust me. It kind of sucks.
we've learned a
People
few.
are asking my opinion on things that I have no opinion about. And apparently it's important now.
We've learned a few things about
Careful what you wish for.
stuff. Did you know that the world is ending?
I did not.
So it turns out that there's an evil organization trying to get tablets to this thing that wants to control the sun, apparently. And we really thought we were such good friends back in the old universe. Universe 1, as I like to call it.
See, I'm just glad that there's somebody else that can understand what sort of crazy shit went down.
Dr. Gray's evil now.
That's not good.
Trust me. I'm holding him at
You
gunpoint.
know who that is. That you're holding him. Oh boy. Oh good. Oh.
I would love for you to tell me who Dr.
Is he
Gray
the
is in this
owner?
universe.
Is he like the head?
Is he
You
the?
know someone has to lead the Illuminati, right?
Oh, he's the head of the Illuminati.
Yeah. That was same both universes. Yep.
He was the head of the Illuminati in the last universe too.
But he was a pretty decent bloke for the most part.
I'm gonna look at Darlene. I won the lottery on that. We had an argument about that. He leads the Illuminati.
Oh, that's swell.
He did it in the last universe too. That's great.
Yep.
Anyways, Agent Pemberton.
You said it again.
Agent Fairchild. Anyways, Agent Fairchild.
Okay.
I always introduce myself as Benedict Pemberton, and now I'm trying to say a last name. I keep Anyways, Agent Fairchild, we were really wondering that if you could, help your pals out in Universe A or Universe 1 or whatever the hell we're calling it nowadays, maybe send, I don't know, the U.S. Army that you have access to help us save the world.
I can do something like that. I can't mobilize the entire U.S. Army for nothing. Like that, I don't have that power.
Literally anything will help.
I can definitely give you some help. Just figure out exactly what you need, and I'll get I'll get you what I can, alright?
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to the original conversation.
Hey,
Yes?
Just really bad idea if you were to... this is bad.
Are you saying that it was...
So you have a gun pointed at him right now. Like,
Yes. He said. He
so
says
you
that
know if you kill him, you will probably die.
he has threatened that. Yes, we're going to go back to that conversation and try to speak on equal footing now. I don't think it's going to work, but
he can't hear me right now.
he cannot know.
Okay, good. Does he know that you're? Oh shit! You said my name multiple times. Tell him that I'm chill.
Dr. Gray, he said he's chill.
He just nods and rolls his eyes.
We're still friends, right?
He understands. He understands it. So, goodbye, Agent Fairchild.
Yeah, bye. Good luck. Don't die. We'll figure this out.
Please don't call me.
President.
So, I'm going.
I like the idea that he hangs up.
Yes. Benny hangs up on the president, just like, whatever.
Yeah. Benny is... Shit's happened to Benny. On a fundamental level. And he is on the cusp of being fucking insane.
Just turning Benny into Axel, just slowly, step by step.
Like, Axel started off as a fucking wackadoo crazy person and got better over time.
Yeah, they just flopped.
Benny is slowly becoming crazy. So he's gonna, hang up the phone, like, as Agent Fairchild is still talking.
Great.
I'm going to take the magazine out of Dr. Gray's gun, put it in my pocket, and I'm going to roll the gun over to him. Well, as it turns out, you do have a phone number that goes straight to the president. So kudos on that. So you're also the leader of the Illuminati.
See a slight smirk.
If you're unarmed, so I'm not holding a gun anymore. So if you want to speak, you can.
By the way, I want to say Darlene took what's-her-face's gun when she dropped it.
Yeah, so
That's over there.
If you want to have a conversation, now is your chance to.
Yes, sorry, I'm going back, Major. Yes, I feel like we may have gotten off on the wrong foot. I understand this may be the first time that we're actually meeting. I had a different relationship with my Benny.
What was that relationship? Because
I remember my Benny being much more of a bumbling idiot who was willing to follow my orders.
Did I ever do that? I don't recall ever doing that. A bumbling idiot?
Now Benny's offended. It's like, Darlene wasn't there. She really met Benny, and they immediately started an argument.
Remember to ask Parker and Bo about the bumbling idiot thing.
Well, okay. The first time I ever met you was when you guys came back from the Hollow Earth.
Anyways. So, Dr. Gray, I was a bumbling idiot. You were relatively chill and not possessing coworkers.
Apparently it's willing.
Apparently it is willing.
It's much easier to give orders if those orders are obeyed completely and understood with my intent.
Did you do that to past Benny?
Yes.
No wonder he was a bumbling idiot. You gotta let free will, man. It's the way of the universe. This
Free
makes
will
sense
is
to
wasted
you,
upon
right?
those that have no intelligence to use it.
Well,
He just called old Benny stupid.
he called him a bumbling idiot at first. The stupid was already out the door.
Yeah.
So you did it to old Parker and old Bo too. Correct?
Well, yes.
Were they bumbling idiots?
From what I understand, but you have to...
You know, Bo, I understand. Bo being the bumbling idiot, I get. That makes sense to me.
He's got big muscles, not big brain.
Listen, you may not be holding a gun at me, but I don't feel a need to explain myself. Even if you are. So, do you have any other questions? My time is valuable.
So you said patient 6 was Annabeth. So there were 5 other patients?
Yes.
What happened to them?
They failed.
They failed. Man, old Dr. Gray managed to get it on the first try. You're the I'm kidding. I'm joking.
You're the bumbling
I'm
idiot.
joking.
You should. You probably should go for
Perhaps
it.
old Dr. Gray just wasn't honest enough to admit his mistakes.
Please do it, please. Sounds like you're the bumbling idiot.
I'm gonna pause. But first off, sorry about shooting you in the shoulder. Technically, I didn't shoot you in the shoulder, but
I'm not sorry.
she's not sorry.
I'm
But
losing a lot of blood. I probably need medical attention at some point before I bleed out. Once again, if I die, you come with me.
Luckily for you, I actually have a bit of a medical pack.
If you don't mind, make it quick.
Yes, doctor.
we can chat while she's healing you.
Healing like I'm a Jedi again.
So
Yeah.
really, I just want to know if we have the Illuminati's help.
You've always had the Illuminati's help.
And if we do have the Illuminati's help, that you promise to treat us as equals and not like your
Subordinates.
yeah, like pawns in your chess game.
But you are pawns in that chess game.
Do you want me to shoot him again?
No, we don't need him to. We don't need to shoot him again because I don't think you realize that you are at the end of the day just a single man, and this high and mighty act that you're putting on makes you incredibly unlikable.
I never asked to be liked. I'm just doing what needs to be done.
What is that?
Well, word from the wise, personal experience and all that. It doesn't really help to burn bridges as you're attempting to make an objective.
You're the one that shot me.
Actually, I shot you.
Yeah,
Well, yes, but...
See? I wasn't the one that shot you. But, I also wanted to ask a more personal question.
I take it at this point you're patching him up.
Yes.
Okay. Roll a medical check.
But a more personal question, what was my,
That is a hard success.
Okay, cool.
what was my father's role in the Illuminati?
You could call him a consultant.
Did you ever dominate his mind?
I don't dominate everyone I come across now.
Well, maybe make an exception for us.
Well, at this point, I see no need to continue to manage you, as you seem to have gained a level of competency that you didn't have before.
I just think that we were always this competent, and he just dumbed us down.
He's like, I don't even know this bitch.
That's my theory,
Yes.
anyways. Like saying that to
Yeah.
Darlene, like as he's talking.
Probably. Yeah. More than likely.
So, it still stands that you need to find kind of path?
Well, last time we saw her, she was in Brazil.
That's news to me.
Maybe we were more competent. Jesus, maybe they sucked.
The police officers from the last universe in the Wendigo case. That's us.
You know, I wonder what happened to the Wendigo in this universe. We have to go back and learn so much things. Continue.
So much shit. Oh, jeez.
Do an entire new campaign of the others.
Yeah.
The less competent versions of yourself.
It's like, alright, everyone, lower your intelligence.
Actual Call of Cthulhu.
That's the thing. They were playing actual Call of Cthulhu. You guys were playing Pulp.
Like, damn. You're kind of bad at everything.
Honestly, it's amazing that Benny survived for as long as he did, because Jesus, I'm squishy already. I can't imagine.
Did I ever... Oh, yeah, I did.
We totally didn't kill that fucking Wendigo in this universe.
Maybe not, but maybe.
Shit.
Maybe.
Well, Ruth's still alive.
Maybe we didn't piss it off like we did last time. Because last time we kind of made a habit of pissing it.
We can ask Ruth. She's like, Ruth, were you ever kidnapped by a Wendigo? She's like, what?
No, you can't.
She
She's
wouldn't.
dead now.
Oh,
She wouldn't know.
Dang. Yeah, this Ruth is like, duh.
We can ask.
Yeah, my uncle pulled a gun on me.
Yeah, it's like I almost forgot looking down the barrel of the gun my uncle almost shot me in the face with.
But that would be a good place to start. How far along the old versions of us were?
That's gonna be a big shock.
Because apparently we were further along.
Seems so.
So do you know where the pieces of the little dome are? Do you happen to have any leads on those?
I don't know what you're talking about.
See?
She just holds it up. Please.
We're further along than them.
He takes it. He kind of like turns it, wincing a little bit as he begins suturing up. Luckily, it's just kind of a flesh wound for the most part.
Does it pass all the way through, or?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna make sure there's no shrapnel in there. Stick her finger in the bullet wound. It's like, she's totally making it as painful as possible.
Oh yeah, I kind of figured as much. Yeah. So, yeah, he looks it over, wincing, of course, as you're...
She pulls out a car key, sticks around.
Just got a little bit of... Let me get this out.
Yeah.
You got a lemon?
Yeah. Some salt. She spits in it. Got the coronavirus. In this universe, coronavirus happened 1920.
That's just the Spanish flu.
Exactly.
Just extended a few years. Yeah. But that is the thing that I want to do is like see if we can go back to our old cases and see how compare and contrast.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
So
you're bored.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god! Hey, look! It's almost as if I fucking rode us away in.
Yep. Also, I'll just mention this because I gotta toss you guys a bone occasionally, right? You could also check because Dr. Gray is fundamentally different.
Yeah.
You might be able to get some more information by checking around his house.
Yeah. Yeah, Brian's like, you can always check his house, and we're like, anyway. Yes, we will check his estate, his house, whatever, his manor.
But yeah, he looks it over, and he says, this is definitely an intriguing artifact. Let's say it has some magical origin. I would need to do further research on it to know exactly what it is.
I have a question.
Yes. You do ask a lot of questions. That much hasn't changed. But
the questions are always getting us somewhere because we managed to win this race. Do you still have that ledger of cults that was in your
library?
Yeah, library. Your office that was locked.
Wasn't that a book that just had it was basically just like
notes?
Not even notes. I want to say it was just like a book about different cults, essentially.
Yeah.
It was like not written by him, just a book of cults.
Yes. Do you still have that book?
Yes. It's an intriguing read, but...
So I figured out where old Benny went wrong. He didn't learn magic.
Oh, perhaps. Because he didn't steal the book.
Didn't steal the book.
Interesting.
Yeah. Old Benny didn't know magic. The loser.
Me reacting.
Nerd! With
Literally
bubbling
just
idiot.
So,
I've burped like so many times.
is there anything else you'd like to do? I think it might be a good time to wrap up the scene as you're patching them up.
Yeah.
I don't want to do the awkward goodbyes here.
Yeah. I'm
Kiss
gonna.
him on the cheek and then...
I'm going
Kiss and make up.
to see if
yeah.
I can go back to the house in New York.
Okay.
So,
So before we get there, we're gonna go with
No, that's
Parker, Lady Erin. Who else?
Izzy.
Izzy. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So Parker, Lady Erin, and Izzy go to Parker's estate, which this one we can probably do pretty quickly because you go there. You go via the portals. It doesn't take very long to get there, and once you go inside, the relic is still there.
Nab it.
Yeah, you nab that bit of the relic. You don't see anything out of the ordinary. You still have a couple of days before they were supposed to arrive.
Yeah.
So
I guess after that, like after they get it, Parker's just going to grab a few things, just like personal things, and going to try to head to the Benny's house.
okay,
Try to grab the other piece if it's still there.
all right.
Because I'm sure Izzy would mention it.
I forgot all about the other piece.
If it's even there. Because it may just have vaporized as... We go on, we find some dust on the counter.
I would assume we would 100% get there first.
I mean, you did do quite a bit there, and
Yeah. We chatted a lot.
yeah, and it's like what, half an hour from your place to New York. Traffic and all that good stuff. So yeah, we'll say that you guys arrive at Benny's estate at the same time, roughly. You probably end up having to wait. You don't really have a key to his house.
Damn it.
But you know,
Let's hope I have a key to this
you
house.
hear over the you hear over the mental group chat that he's on his way. So yeah, you guys catch up. So you know, Parker's there. You now have a bit more information.
Can you believe, Parker, that Dr. Gray, by the way, who's now evil,
Great.
and also, both versions, were the leader of the Illuminati?
Why am I not surprised?
He called me a bumbling idiot. He also, before you...
Side look for the audio medium, just that.
Before you make that face, he also called you a bumbling idiot.
Angie.
Thank you.
The
But
angry brows. The angry eyes.
he called us bumbling idiots. Also, Annabeth is patient 6 now.
Yeah, actually, before, because I think it might have got cut out, there was a point where you brought that up.
Yeah, he mentioned that.
And he mentioned that either the other Dr. Gray got it in the first try, or he was less honest about his previous mistakes.
Yeah.
And
I'm willing to
I don't
give.
know. I
I'm
guess you
willing-
didn't really search his house at all.
Yeah, no. I'm willing to give.
Not yet.
I'm willing to give.
We need
old,
to, though. We do need to.
I'm willing to give old Dr. Gray the benefit of the doubt,
Yeah.
just so I can keep in the line of him being a bumbling, outright calling him a bumbling idiot.
Definitely keeping that in. That has to be a thing.
But so I want to hope that this key works as I go to unlock the New York house.
It's just slightly different. No, it does work.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah,
Well,
you have to pick the lock into your own house.
at
It's
least
actually only mildly inconvenient.
there's a family in there like, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's only mildly inconvenient for me. Just an extra roll, did it?
A family having dinner like, what are you doing in our house?
So So we're finding the doll that apparently houses excuse me, a piece of the shard of the thing that we need to control the sun and make sense in context. I'm going to go up to my study and check my case board.
Alright, Darlene knows where it was, so...
Okay, so yeah, Darlene,
I'll
you
go
go
grab
over to
it.
the mantle. You see the very disturbing looking doll.
The same one? Like,
Yeah, the same doll. Like there are two of them.
yeah.
Got kid. Yeah, it's just sitting there on the mantle looking.
I'm gonna give it a tender
disturbing.
squeeze.
You give it a tender squeeze, and you feel there is something hard inside of it.
She takes her keys and tries to tear the seam.
Yeah, you tear the seam. There is a second piece, exactly the same as the one that you have.
Well, that's interesting. She pockets that doll as well.
Okay.
Now
She's starting a collection.
You now have two cursed dolls. Congratulations. They can kiss. They have friends. They're no longer cursed. They're happy because they have friends.
She sews their hands together.
No.
Now they're mad.
She cuts the hands apart.
Now they're mad still because they actually liked it. They were like they were upset at first.
But I'm going to go up to the study.
Okay. So yeah, you go up to the study.
Do I see anything different?
Minor differences, right? Like, and it's almost like one of those things where you're looking for them so hard that you're seeing things that might not necessarily be there. Where like, oh, that painting is like slightly, like that's not where I hung that painting. Or didn't I have like a slightly different kind of wallpaper? It's kind of
the blue's
weird.
kind of off.
Yeah, the blue is kind of off. Just different things like that as you're walking up towards your study. You do notice one familiar thing that kind of just like makes you almost smile a little bit. You can see where the door frame on the study door has been repaired.
Aw, Bo.
So he still did that.
Yeah, he totally
The
broke it.
asshole.
He's like, aw.
So I'm gonna go into the study.
Okay. So inside the study, you see the case board.
I'll mosey up to it
Okay.
and see if there's any obvious differences.
Yeah, it's almost entirely different.
They were bad at this, is what I'm getting at.
You don't know if they were bad at this or if they just took a different approach.
Did they kill more people or less?
Well, one thing that you notice is it looks like they never went to Chicago.
Which is where the Wendigo was?
Yeah. So you take it they probably never met Shay.
Huh. No wonder they weren't as good at solving cases.
They
Because-
also never having had Shay, she was never kidnapped or was
Ruth was
kidnapped.
never
Yeah.
No, Shay. Which is what led you to Brazil.
Oh.
Oh.
Interesting.
So,
And as you're looking at the board, you see the divergence point.
So we see
They actually talked to Henry a bit more, you think, because they went through the trouble of putting the Wendigo down the first time.
Ooh.
so they did manage to succeed.
Maybe
So-
we're the
so we're the as it turns out, we're the bad guys.
Fuck.
I mean, the key point difference is like they knew that it wasn't fully dead the first time
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and knew to finish the job.
Yeah.
You were only that far away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the long run,
Or they didn't necessarily talk to Henry more. They just did more research,
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
they got better rolls. The reason we thought it was dead was because
Yeah, we rolled for it. And we were like, you're pretty sure it's dead.
yeah. But
Well, that wasn't ominous.
but as it turns out, that was probably good in the long run because we
don't have
got
to deal with
further
that.
along in the actual meta case.
Yeah.
So we fell ass backwards into succeeding.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna take the corkboard with me.
Okay. Yeah, and
Open
this
it.
is probably going to be useful. Like, there's a lot of different things here. It's literally everything after the second Wendigo attack is different because the second Wendigo attack never happened.
Yeah, because we killed it.
So they never went back to that town.
So this Annabeth has her husband.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, Annabeth's husband would have been there.
Or Annabelle, not Annabeth, my bad.
Annabelle.
Yeah. Annabelle's husband is still alive.
Annabelle's husband is still alive.
Hey, Ruth.
She has a baby brother.
You willed him into existence. Damn it. Rest in peace, Parker.
So.
It's okay.
So, I'm taking the case board with us.
Okay.
So that might be useful.
Mm-hmm.
You actually do see one thing. Oh God, but no,
What?
It would be there. It would fucking be there, but I don't want to give it away because Gage isn't here.
I'll roll for it.
I'll roll for it.
No, it's like it's on the board. You would see it. But I feel bad.
I see it.
It's kind of like Gage's thing.
I'll text him.
Okay.
I'll text him as.
I feel bad.
Record it.
I'll text him.
Record it and then just send it to Gage.
Okay. To be fair, Gage knows.
Okay.
But
Gage knows.
You see a picture with Bo looking very, very happy, standing side by side with Ruth on their wedding day.
Ooh.
Dang.
That's made of the house. In the car.
And a baby, probably.
He never got fucking hit with the bomb. Smitty never died. That dick changed reality. That asshole. After I tried so hard to not change reality. What a dick.
I did too. So I can't say anything.
And more more things that make sense in context.
Yeah.
That dick changed reality.
It did. It well, he definitely was thinking with his dick.
So I'm taking it with me.
Rest in peace, Samuel, though.
Yeah. Well, Samuel's still alive. He's just unmarried.
Exactly. Because they didn't bond over Bo.
They didn't bond over Bo.
What?
Oh, no.
What?
Leviticus was a good fucking person in this timeline. He wasn't a dick to Bo. Is that what you're getting? I get it,
You
though.
remember way at the beginning? Yeah, like people were like they thought he was alright.
Does that mean that
What about Bo's dad?
Benny?
That's something we need to find out.
Benny in this universe couldn't have killed Leviticus.
He may have.
Because as we learn, Benny never learned spells.
Yeah, but also
Because the reason Benny learned spells was because he used that book as leverage.
Yeah.
To learn Dominate Mind and Great Ward.
I have two ideas about that. One,
we're gonna be chatting about this shit.
Yeah.
After the
I know what happened.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you would have a way to find out.
I'm sitting here going, oh my god. That I never realized that me stealing a fucking book would therefore mean Leviticus has to be alive. Or at least dead in a different way.
See?
Benny couldn't have killed him because Benny used Dominate Mind.
Also, Benny wouldn't have necessarily had a reason.
I had a reason to kill him because he was a good person.
Wouldn't. But with Dr. Gray.
I don't know. Oh, man.
So Dr. Cray could have, or the Illuminati could have wanted. What's this? Leviticus dead. Look at Brian looking over there. Smug little.
Okay, sorry. Back to the point. Sorry, back to the case at hand. I want to walk back downstairs. I'm show everyone the case board. We're gonna
your macaroni art.
We're gonna theory.
You guys are sitting there like, oh my god, all these things. Everything's different because
a handful of decisions.
The shock that Bo has when he gets home and Ruth's just like, "Hi, honey, welcome back," and he's like, "I did it, boys. I bagged the girl."
But he has no memory of it.
Leviticus. No. I thought we gained memories of what happened.
Nope. You have no clue.
Oh, okay. That's why fucking Agent Fairchild is so fucking confused.
Yeah. He's the president and he has no idea. He's not even a politician.
Yeah.
He was basically... a cop to a point.
Yeah.
And
He was a BLI agent.
No.
Yeah. So it's like, Jesus, that dude's way unprepared.
And everyone's like, hey, what's your opinion on this? And he's like, I don't know. I don't have an opinion on that.
I have to go back and ask Mr. Right questions.
He's definitely not getting reelected.
I have to go back and ask Mr. Right questions now.
Alright.
Or go back and fucking see if old Benny ever found Grandpa Pemberton. Although Mr. Right said that happened.
Yes.
So did old Benny get rid of the stone? I have so many questions. Did old Benny keep his immortality?
Probably.
Or did he handle it a different way?
Okay.
So many questions.
If old Benny kept the stone and then he got wiped out because of this, wouldn't that make you automatically immortal? Like you don't have the thing, but you're immortal because last Benny was immortal, maybe? Or maybe the stone just...
I don't think
yeah.
Or maybe he's immune to it.
Yeah. And there's a second Benny running around like glitching out going, what the fuck?
Did you just spoil something?
No.
He just spoiled something!
That smiles.
Anyways, so I guess we're going to go back to the Pemberton estate, correct?
You're going to have to fight your old self.
We're going to have to go back to the Pemberton estate now.
Yeah.
So you have collected all 3 pieces of the shard. 3 pieces of the disc now. So looking at it now, you have a good idea of about...
He fell asleep.
I knew it. I was like, I hope he's not dead. But I'm pretty sure he's just asleep.
What time is that?
11:20.
11:20. Shit. I would say, like, he would be getting on the very, very tail end of things.
Yeah.
But we could go over what happens when he gets back.
Yeah.
So that's up to him if you want to.
But I have so many questions to ask Mr. Right.
All right. So first off, you guys have those 3 pieces of the disc.
Yep.
You make your way back towards your estate, the one in Tennessee.
Yeah.
So I take it you're probably traveling via the gate.
100%. We have that power.
Okay.
But old Benny, made the gate. But he didn't have maps. I'm confused.
Just because he didn't doesn't mean someone else didn't. I mean, he still could have met Andre.
Yeah, this is true. But how did he meet Andre? We met him in fucking Brazil.
That's a good question. Maybe he had Dr. Gray built in the gate.
My head hurts. This doesn't make sense in context.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
There might be some inconsistencies because it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I'll admit that up front. Like the gate being there, because I did mention previously the gate was still there in the closet.
Because, I mean, that could be something that Dr. Gray built so he would have easy access to us.
I do, however, have an explanation for it. But it's sort of a in-game explanation that I don't know if I'd ever be able to give it to you.
In universe.
So imagine that the multiverse, right?
Oh, constants and variables.
To a point.
Gotcha.
Imagine that certain events... okay, so if you imagine the multiverse like layers of slightly opaque glass, and events are staining on those layers of glass, certain things that
bleed through.
Yeah, certain things bleed through.
So since I did it, he secondhand got...
Pretty much.
Okay.
So it's like it made a gate in certain nearby parallel universes.
Yeah.
Got you.
So there are certain events that may not have the same origin but come to the same conclusion.
Whether they actually
and
hit that
the reason they come to that conclusion might not make any sense.
Okay.
The universe you were from had similar events, things that like, why did that happen that way? It doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Certain events throughout history can be explained away this way. This is me getting all like conspiracy theorists, like push my hair back. Ancient aliens, like
My brain hurts.
the disappearance at Roanoke. Maybe something happened in a parallel universe,
And just everyone else disappeared.
and they just disappeared as a result of what happened there.
They're all
So-
connected.
That's kind of how you explain away those inconsistencies.
That's something that honestly Andre might be able to kind of give his theory on.
Yeah,
So many.
I just can't, like,
Yeah. It's
coming
hard
up with the time to actually explain that to you guys would be tricky. So,
Benny brings up, he's like, wait, if this Benny didn't have magic, how'd we get this? And Andre's like, well, you see,
Yeah.
we're like onions, we have layers.
So,
layers.
but we're going back to the Pemberton
Yes,
estate.
you go back to the Pemberton estate, and we'll say that you spend a couple of days there. You get a chance to talk to Mr. Wright. Andre arrives. Finally. He was busy, kind of like... Actually, you know what? We'll bring that explanation in universe. Andre was spending time studying what the fuck, and he found the inconsistencies himself and came up with that theory, that the universe is arranged like layers of glass that are laid atop each other. Events on the glass that are darker can be seen and experienced throughout
Further
different
away,
layers.
Up to a certain point.
Okay.
So, there's that. Now that everyone's there and have had our minds blown, Andre also says that Ava, into the Andre voice, I thought of a few things that might be useful, things that we might want to check in on, if you haven't already. Well, first off, I figured that if it's true that Neiman is part of the cult, then we might be able to find out what motives he has by checking out what he was researching before he left the Templar.
Did he still leave, though? Because we were the ones that forced him to come out of hiding.
For whatever reason, he definitely left.
Maybe the opaque glass thing again.
Or possibly he just... that was me speaking. Possibly he just didn't have a use for him anymore. Like, he was just like, okay, I've used up your resources, yeet.
Now, I did a bit of looking in on that myself, trying to see what books he checked before he went out in the library. But all the records have been purged. So whatever he was looking at, he didn't want anyone to see. You might be able to talk to the temple archivist. He would have seen
I'm
what books
sorry,
he was
did
checking
you just
out.
say the Temple Archivist?
The Templar Archivist.
Temple Archivist, that's it.
Temple Archivist.
Temple
Templar
Archivist.
The Templar Archivist.
Templar Archivist.
Sounds like a type of anteater.
I'm having a stroke.
New breed
So,
of
would it-
echidna.
Would it be safe to assume that we have a leg up on the cult? Because we know things they can't possibly know that we know?
It would seem that way.
So,
We already know. And you guys, once again, we've pooled information because there's it's like so many characters spread out. It's just easier. Fan
yeah,
wipe everybody
Parker-
knows everything.
Yeah, Parker did explain his vision, everything,
So-
like, in full.
Cool.
Yeah.
would it
Cool.
be possible for them to still be in Brazil?
If we didn't interrupt what they were doing, it's entirely possible they're still in Brazil. Although
But
This is a new universe.
we did, I did double check. We did send. This is going to be hard for you, Lady Aaron. You're dead. I think I am as well, but I checked in. I had to come up with some bullshit excuse as to how I made it out. But the group that we sent to Brazil, they all died.
so
It's possible that, or even in the new universe, it's possible that they've already finished and they
well,
were...
this is actually good news, though. Well, what you may have blown your cover, Andre. I'm sorry about that, but they don't know that Lady Erin is still alive.
So this is going to be a great April Fool's joke.
So we may have a trump card with Lady Erin, who they think is dead, and Darlene, who apparently didn't even exist.
I don't think anyone knows that, though, except Parker.
Again, we pool the resources together.
Parker,
Literally-
I don't think Parker mentions that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, shit. So
Darlene wouldn't be happy about that.
the trump card of
Also, his wedding
Lady-
is missing.
the trump card of Lady Erin being dead.
Now, it's just the Templar that know that she died. She was part of the assignment that was sent.
Well, like you said, Neiman was a member of the Templars up until.
That's true. I don't know how deep the corruption runs, but still hope that it was just him.
Well, luckily I managed to get in touch with President Fairchild.
Oh, that's good. That was actually my second point. I was going to say that if you can get in touch with Fairchild, that would be very useful.
Yes, I got in touch with President Fairchild. He said that he would be able to send us help. Not a lot of help, because he can't mobilize the U.S. Army, of course. But some help. I have his number now, so I can call him on my time now. And also, we have help coming from the Illuminati as well. Even though it is a much more tenuous relationship than it once was.
That's something that I noticed is the Illuminati seem a little more active in this.
Bloodthirsty.
Yes, you
Yeah.
could say that. They seem... and they were already pretty bad before. I didn't want to scare you all, but they were...
You know, trust me, we've
Rounding up
me
civilians.
and Darlene met the leader of the Illuminati, it's Dr. Gray. We didn't know that at the time, though. But he was the leader, and apparently, this one is significantly less indecisive. So, Darlene shot him.
Not like dead.
No,
I wish.
He's-
I wanted to.
he threatened that I was a dead man if I killed him.
That's probably true.
So,
I don't care.
he gets to live.
Now, this might not be the time to think of it, but I just want to put it on your minds. He's keeping you around, obviously, to help him deal with Annabeth, right?
Yes.
What happens once you've dealt with it?
Well, then I guess we have to fight off the Illuminati.
Oh, it's going to be fun. Well, you've got me in for it, though. I'll do what I can.
Did we have any word on my father?
Okay, so just quick backtrack to you talking to Mr. Wright and the
Yeah.
events that went down. You arrived.
Yeah.
You spoke with your father.
Yeah.
You didn't have a fight.
Uh-huh.
The conversation went a little better between the two of you, and he basically let you in on the family secret, from what you can understand.
Did I still take the deal?
No.
You dealt with.
Leviticus did.
And he's gone missing. I'm going
I'm still out there.
to the fucking secret bunker.
Okay.
Because I know where he is.
More than
He's at the
likely.
secret bunker.
More than
You mean the
likely.
crypt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do I still have the key on me? Because I had it on my key ring when I jumped universes.
Yeah, you do.
Is Leviticus Pemberton there? But far younger.
No.
Well, he's just
You
gone.
remember the only reason that, oh god.
He was too old.
Percival.
Yeah, Percival.
Percival.
The only reason he didn't leave is because he was too old, and he was like a cranky old man. He was like, I don't want him.
Yeah.
You can't wait. You can't make me. I
So
want to just die.
Boomer.
He is holding on. So he's over at the Illuminati.
He's a dude.
So, having learned this,
I know where Leviticus Pemberton is.
basically learn from Mr. Wright that it seems like the arrangement was you would take over the farm,
Mhm.
right? Leviticus would take the deal and disappear, essentially. Go and become a different person. Essentially, go and live life elsewhere, do things, and a deal that the two of you made. You don't know the full details of it, Mr. Wright. Basically,
wasn't in the room.
Yeah, wasn't really in the room. He just picked up pieces of it, but from what he understands, it was down to either you taking it or him, and the two of you drew straws. Because it was like both of you agreed, like, yeah, it's not really a blessing; it's more of a curse. Like,
So look at even old Benny didn't fucking win immortality.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you get to live forever, but look what it does to him. Like, he's a husk that feeds off life.
Did I get like a new name or a way to contact him?
You probably did, but you don't know. That information might have died with
old Benny.
With old Benny.
That's unfortunate.
You might be able to contact him. He might be useful to you.
Yep.
Send some smoke signals.
This is like the biggest retcon. But I'm not necessarily trying to retcon things. It's like you went to a different universe. Things are different.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
do I get sanity points back for I didn't in this universe I didn't kill my dad?
I didn't think it works that way. Like, you did still end a life.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm trying.
This hasn't erased what you've done.
I tried.
It's just.
I tried.
The new, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I tried.
Oh, my stomach.
Wow. Maybe old Benny was far more incompetent than I was. maybe that's what I learned. We're the bumbling idiots.
We are the bumbling idiots.
Fuck. After all those jokes.
Parker's like, no.
I'm gonna go.
Parker refuses
See if there's like a
to accept the fact that
contact.
maybe he's the bumbling idiot.
Contact information that I know wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Or like the newest contact information or something that that old Benny may have written down.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll let you roll a spot hidden. Parker, what are you up to?
Thanks, advantage.
Honestly, I don't even know. He's probably just trying to figure something out. He's still fine with the fact that he may be an idiot, but
Success. Regular success.
I guess he's trying to go through his stuff and see what all's changed, what all stayed the same.
Okay. So now is this back at your estate?
No, at Benny's,
At
where he
Benny's.
had his
Okay.
stuff at Benny's.
I'd say that for the most part, Parker's kit is very similar.
Mm-hmm.
I do think he probably picked up a few hand grenades. Still have a decent bit of silver. And it looks to you like, since you all basically... The difference between you appearing at the funeral and Ruth appearing was more a matter of time. Like, you were in a very similar location, so it wasn't as jarring when you appeared back because you were pretty much at the same point in time. So you basically, appeared where you used to be as you unexisted the people who used to be there.
So basically the timelines are moving at different paces, and we just happen to hit a mark where it clicked into place.
Yeah.
That's another brain fuckery thing. Like, time is slightly faster in the old universe than it is here, so we just happen to hit a click where it met. Continue.
So, all of that being said, it seems like pretty much everything that you would have taken to the estate. You probably didn't bring all of your guns because, it's a wedding. Something might go
A wedding?
down. Or sorry, not a wedding. It's a funeral.
He's got Game of Thrones on the brain.
Yeah. They're the same thing in the Game of Thrones universe.
Exactly.
Did we ever meet Izzy in this universe?
Yeah.
Because we met her.
Yeah, you guys are just hunting crocodiles.
So we still got the silver chainmail thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do I still have my lever carbine that I physically bought in the old? Although even if I didn't, I think Bo.
You still have, all of your gear. You still haven't, I'd say.
Okay. Because I don't have a lot of shit, but like it would all fit on my person.
Mostly for the sake of continuity and me not like retconning later, but like, nah, you don't have that. No, you have all of your gear.
Okay.
Once again, things are very much the same.
Okay.
Just some things are different.
Yeah.
Gear is one of the things that's the same because don't want to keep track of that.
That's fair.
So, aside from that, yeah, you guys, you don't have anything else you want to do, Parker?
No, not really.
Okay.
I think the biggest thing is he notices he doesn't have the ring. Darlene hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna be awkward.
Yeah, I imagine so.
So weird. Life is weird.
Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking?
I'm just not sure how that would.
It's going to happen, like in this universe, like sometime soon. Okay, I have to pee.
So yeah, at this point, Andre has given you kind of like almost a to-do list to a point, and on that it is checking in the Templar records to see. Basically, he wants you to speak to the archivist, who he doesn't really have great terms with.
I don't know how we'll do that. We're not
You guys like
Templars anymore.
I have the Templar jacket.
Yeah, and also like they already kind of like gave you the initiation once, so they could just take you back and be like, "Hey, these blokes are cool. Let's get them in."
But I do think
So,
Lady
yeah,
Erin needs to stay dead for now.
Yeah, she doesn't seem happy with that one, but she's like, "If you say so, it would be a lot to explain."
I think that it's in our.
So check it. We jumped universes.
Well, I think because it would be a lot to explain, and also it's kind of like a trump card.
That is assuming that the Templar is compromised still. And Neiman says, or sorry, not Neiman. Andre. Oh no! What a twist! Neiman just appears. What up? No. Andre says, I do think that it would be beneficial to know what Neiman's cause was for leaving. Because if we know why he left, it was probably something in those books that he was looking through. Doesn't make sense that he would just up and leave one day unless the entire time he worked for us he was already with Annabelle. Which doesn't make much sense since she's only been out for 10 years? 5 or 10 years, something like that.
Could be longer though now. I mean, we don't. There's a lot of differences.
Yeah, he did say patient 6.
Yeah, a lot more than we realized. Or might have been different. But yeah, we're on the case.
Aside from that, obviously you already got in contact with the president. There's that. You've already got a few of those pieces of the disc. Which actually, I should research those.
You should research those. That would be a good idea, friend.
I don't trust him in his cheesecake.
But oh yeah, I forgot he may have been a bad guy. He's kind of.
I totally think that was Mo. That saw that vision.
What?
Where we passed through and it was like world domination. There's thrown out of bodies or whatever. More than likely
I'm
not.
trying to think of other things. But I can't think of anything. I'll have to buy a new tutor. I know that much.
She can see.
Because had a tutor and we jumped universes, so Shay doesn't have a tutor anymore.
Because we don't have a Shay.
We didn't have a Shay back then. It's weird. It's so weird.
Oh man, what happened to my parents? Like,
I wonder if she was.
if I wasn't blind, did I ever leave? Did I have visions in this reality?
This makes my head hurt.
Yeah, mine too. So, wait, did I pull a Ruth?
Rest in peace, my parents.
That's also interesting because Annabelle's husband is still alive, which means Ruth can go, although Ruth is infected, and we know that now because we all pooled information together.
Mm-hmm.
So as a result, I'm going to explain to Ruth.
That's another thing I wanted to mention that you would know, as you, Benny, you still have a spell to learn.
I do! Great Ward!
Yeah. Which, by the way, sounds, because you've read the description of it, sounds exactly like what they're using with the tablet to try and contain the power of the sun. And it's not too hard to,
Learn.
no, it's not too hard to imagine what you might be able to do with that spell in combination with the disc.
Yeah.
Essentially, that disc, once completed, lets you make spells much more powerful.
So I'm going to learn
Well, in combination with the second
Great Ward as soon as possible.
Sorry, Shay.
And if Faust wants to help...
We saw that.
We did see that.
We saw that, though.
What?
He said that the disc, to be able to use the disc and let it amplify, you have to have a sacrifice. And I said, sorry, Shay.
Yeah.
That's what that was for.
Yeah, so... If Faust is willing to help...
Oh, fuck. Faust was begging me the entire time.
Yeah,
It's hard to manage so many NPCs.
We can-
I'm sorry.
we can-
I know there's
just-
like 16 of them.
Yeah, I
We
just
can
imagine like Parker walking down the hall and there's Faust is just standing like in the door and he just kind of slows down, like peeks out of the corner of his eye and keeps going.
We can spend...
Faster this time.
We can do a rush job of learning at least Great Ward and maybe other spells if Faust wants to teach them to me.
What you got in to exchange?
To prevent all of our untimely deaths.
So, you're going to go ahead and try and learn Great Ward, right?
Yes.
You can do other things as you do that. So,
Oh, yeah.
what other things would you like to do? This is going to be kind of like setting up what you guys are going to do over the next... Like, keep in mind, right now, as far as you know, you have a bit of a time frame.
Yeah.
You have a little over maybe 5 months because they don't have
The
2 pieces.
Yeah.
So I want to...
If you can get more pieces of the disc from them, then you buy yourself more time. So
I really only have 2 main goals. 3 main goals.
Mm-hmm.
One, I want to, now that Ruth is a member of the organization of people trying to stop the world at the humble age of 13.
Is she though?
No,
Is
She's sort of like got. No, I mean, is she a willing member of this?
Well, but now that she knows that weird shit happened, I don't.
Ruth?
Yeah.
Ruth was like 8.
Yeah, Ruth is like 8.
Yeah, I don't know if she wants to come along on this.
No,
journey.
I'm not trying. I'm not. She's not allowed to come along.
I was gonna say like, she just sort of got dragged in on this one.
But
Ah, my neck.
she is going to get a thorough apology and a reasoning as to why I did what I did.
Okay.
Now that, she's kind of in on the secret.
Okay, so that's definitely a scene we'll play.
Yeah.
Out. We'll probably do, because I imagine you're going to do that before, because she's probably going to go back with her mother to, see their father.
Yeah.
Which I imagine their father didn't have the best terms with Leviticus, probably why they didn't come to the funeral.
Yeah.
Or why he didn't come.
Also, I'm going to learn Great Ward
Mm-hmm.
and any other spells that Faust wants to teach me.
Mm-hmm.
If he wants to teach me any other spells. Maybe I'll show him Consume Identity. Consume Person. Maybe I'll teach him that spell. Be like, hey man, look at this spell. I want to spell for a spell. And then I'm going to try to look for Leviticus.
Okay.
Because I think having an immortal person might help.
Okay.
Might aid in our quest. So those are my main goals.
Okay, so your goals are...
Apologize to Ruth. Step 1. Learn spells. And then try to find Leviticus. And then whatever...
Okay, so Parker, what is your plan for the next little while here, the next week or so? You have... it could be Parker or Darlene. I'd say probably pick one and focus on them, unless you want to be both. But, yeah, I understand that's a hassle.
Yeah. I think Parker's going to be the one that goes to the archivist.
Okay, so you go to the archivist.
Yeah.
What else do you want to do?
He's going to be... It sounds really weird, like out of context, but he's going to be touching everything and like...
Yeah.
Trying to figure out...
Touching everything.
Like a kindergartner at the book fair. Like, books in the mouth.
See, I imagine more like somebody who's just super high and they're just like...
Yeah.
And then...
Touching everything to try and, like, piece together his past for this universe.
Understandable.
Honestly, that's about it.
Okay.
That I could think of, I mean,
if you think of anything else. So, I will say this, because we're in kind of this weird, like, wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey moment here where you're not necessarily doing any one thing. Andre does do a little bit of research on the disc itself. And, oh god, I'm drawing a blank on exactly what I was going to say there. As you want to go talk to the archivist. Yes. So you did a little bit of research on the disc, and he has a couple of leads as to where you may be able to find other pieces. One of those is really the only like concrete bit of evidence that he finds, aside from like the cult probably has a few pieces already. But there is a fairly large collection of relics from the area, and in photographs you can see the fairly large piece of the disc in this collection. It's a collection which is held by a man going by the name of Montana Jackson.
Is that Indiana Jones?
It's a play on...
Did you literally just make Indiana Jones?
Yes.
I hate this.
This will help lead into my thing. Does that mean I'm DMing next session?
If you want to, I can give you kind of like stuff for... and if anything comes up that like would be better for me to explain, I can take over for a few minutes and explain it. Okay. But yeah, if you wanna run next session, you totally can. I will say that because like you guys are kind of like all in the room pooling information. When that name is said, you see Izzy go a little bit white.
Ooh. Backstory stuff for Izzy.
Yes.
Yeah, so Izzy doesn't seem like a big fan of that when that's mentioned. But that is pretty much the only concrete clue as to where another piece of this is currently at. Or maybe currently, because this isn't a recent photo. This is from like a couple of years ago. Right? So it's entirely possible that this piece was sold off or it was already stolen by the cult, but from the last that's where it is, and that's the biggest thing you have to go on.
So we're playing collect a thing.
Yes.
With one-off cases.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is the part 3.
Yeah.
No, part 3 is this is part 2. Part 3 is
part 3 JoJo.
Yeah, we're going to we're doing a collect-a-thon. of things.
Okay.
Do we know how many
Pieces of
pieces
Jesus,
we
right?
need?
Huh?
The pieces of Jesus?
No.
No, that's
do
still
we
will
need?
run.
Do we know how many pieces of the?
Yeah, I'd say that like with the picture and the pieces you have, you know that you would need probably 6 pieces. You currently have 2 and 1 extra. The extra possibly could be reforged. If you want to look into that, you could maybe reforge it. If you can only get 5 pieces for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But you know the rough location of 1 piece.
So our next goal is to try to find it.
There's a dude with a straw hat. He's a pirate, or he wants to be a pirate. I don't actually know the plot of that show.
Oh, Luffy.
You know the rough location of 1 piece.
Luffy, yeah.
He's made of rubber. How did that happen?
Hey, Benny got magic.
Yo ho ho! He took a bite of gum gum.
Benny's just chow down on some devil fruit.
Yeah. But we're good.
Not quite. Because as you're all discussing this, and deciding where you're going to go, there's a knock at the door.
I don't like that.
Answer it.
Okay, so you go over.
Is there people?
Yeah, I'd say there's a people.
Nope, YOLO. My house.
Alright.
So you open the door. Do you leave the chain on?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. So you open the door and you can see standing on the other side a policeman.
Hello there, officer.
So you Alright, so you open the door and you can see through the crack in the door where the chain is still holding it, a smiling police officer. And he says, "Hello, sir. We've had reports of a fugitive in the area and would like to search the house."
Why would you need to search the house if there was fugitives in the area? Shouldn't you be searching the area and not the houses?
Momentary pause, and he has been breaking into homes.
Well, he hasn't broken into this home. I know he's not here.
Still, we would like to search the house.
Unfortunately, I'm having some friends over. I don't want them to get nervous about, police officers. I don't want to give them the wrong idea.
Another momentary pause, and he reaches into his jacket and pulls out a paper. "I have a warrant."
I'm going to pick up the warrant.
Okay.
I'm going to look at it.
It is a warrant.
Does it?
Can Darlene go up and touch it?
Does?
Yeah, I mean, Darlene, what are you doing at this point?
She's walking up to the door.
So,
As you
I'm
walk up to the door,
No,
you see-
I was going to do a thing.
Go ahead.
What were you doing?
Go ahead, do you-
Because I have a law skill that I never touch.
Yeah,
Does it look legit?
it looks perfectly legit.
Can I roll it to see?
Yeah,
He doesn't want to He's like, I want to mark it. That's a 40.
No, I don't. Not that have a law skill.
Are you sure that's not just a 4?
No.
No.
No, that's a 40. I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, from what you understand, and like some of the lingo here is a little bit like obscure, but from what you can tell, this is a warrant to search your home. Yes.
Darlene's going to go up and grab it.
Okay.
Just
Well,
like
as you walk up, you can see through the crack in the door a very familiar face. He stands almost 6 feet tall. His skin looks almost like...
How does Benny not realize that?
It looks almost like dead flesh. It's strange. His proportions are all wrong. His eyes are just a little bit too big. They're a little too far apart. His forehead is a little too high. And the most disturbing feature of all, something that you've most likely seen in nightmares, is the smile that seems to stretch almost past his face. Benny, he looks perfectly normal to you. And you see Benny holding a blank sheet of paper.
Darlene's going to touch it.
It's a piece of paper. and it has just blurry words on it and the word warrant at the top.
Yeah.
Nothing you can actually make out. Looking at it closer sort of makes your head hurt.
Yeah. She's going to take it and then just trying to look at Benny confused. Like, are you not saying this bullshit?
It looks legit to me, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he handed you a warrant. He does, from your understanding, have a legal precedent to search your home.
I'm not understanding the train of logic here, officer. Because there has to be a reason for the warrant.
There is a fugitive in the area. He goes by the name of Bodine Smalls.
He's not here right now. He's in...
You know the fugitive. I must search the area.
Can you show us a picture of him?
He reaches into his jacket and brings out a crumpled piece of paper, which is blurry for you, and is a picture of Bo. For you.
I want to do what I did last time. I've never seen that man before.
You have, however, looking at you.
No. Can't say that I have.
He stands perfectly still and just seems to stare straight ahead and is not speaking.
I've never met a man by that name, unfortunately.
He continues to remain silent, staring straight ahead.
So, you can have your warrant back.
There's a moment where it doesn't even look like he's going to reach up and take it, then he grabs it from your hand. He stood there for a solid 40 seconds, and he doesn't speak as he turns and walks away. Looking out, you don't see a police car or car of any kind.
Have a good day, officer.
That's what I did.
Just close the door.
Immediately grabs Benny and goes, "That's the one."
So
Old universe.
So you've met this thing before?
Yes, he has a friend. I don't even know. Like I said, it looks like a child's toy brought to life. Like a kid broke a bunch of action figures and made them into one. Doesn't even look real.
Well, no, you didn't actually see. You didn't see it. Well, you saw it, so you know what he looks like.
So that second picture is the action figure thing.
So,
There we go.
we're...
I have my drawing.
Yeah, you do.
So maybe...
I think that's actually a better representation of what I had.
So maybe we have less time than we thought.
Yeah. Because they wouldn't have been able to find the one at...
By the way, in order to
I
defend...
tried to do the rhino thing.
In order to defend my metagaming cabinet, obviously she's
Look at the
being...
body. That's probably not what the body looks
In order to
like.
defend the
That seems
metagame...
about right.
In order to defend the metagaming thing, she was being super fucking weird.
Mm-hmm.
I was I'll just follow her lead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't
And,
meta...
Yeah.
timeline-wise, you're thinking back. Yeah, this is about the time that they
Showed up. Yeah.
Showed up at the home in Louisiana.
So does that mean that there's one in this house?
You already
We have
have 3 of them.
Oh, so that's what
Yeah.
they're looking for.
Yeah, because there was one. It was in the Krampus stall.
Then why are they looking for Bo? I thought they were looking for Parker last time.
Different universe.
It's also possibly just an excuse to get him.
Yeah.
I don't think they just. I don't know if that's something that you would mention about them pulling from a person.
Oh, you definitely, Darlene, you got that impression.
Yeah.
The entire premise of this creature is it doesn't know very much about human things.
Yeah.
And it relies entirely on the fact that it can just leech off your own memories and your own assumptions about things. It hands you a warrant. Regardless of whether you know law or not, that warrant looks legitimate to you because that's what a warrant is in your mind.
Yeah.
So having more knowledge actually only hurts.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because it solidifies that it is in fact a real warrant. Got you. Okay, so maybe we start being more careful.
In the old universe, he had his friend try to break down the door.
Maybe we barricade that door now.
That sounds like a good idea.
So, how are you going to go about barricading the door? I think we're just about to call it, but I'm curious. What are you going to do?
Can we cast Great Ward on it?
You don't know Great Ward.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
Faust cast Great Ward on it?
Does he know it?
Did Faust give you that book?
Yeah, he gave me the spell for Great Ward.
Did he? I
Yes.
thought that was found in Grayla's book.
No, Grayla's book had Consume Person.
Oh.
Because
No, Parker gave it to him.
Parker did.
Yeah.
Parker gave me Great Ward.
He got it from Faust, though.
He did get it from Faust.
Yeah, so he would know it. I would assume.
Yeah, I was like, I assume.
Unless he gave me a spell that he didn't fucking know.
Yeah, fuck this
Not
shit.
his,
Take
not
my
his
trash.
style.
Because because I distinctly remember that logic being firm somewhere, being like, no, there's a reason. I know Faust knows Great Ward.
So you come, you go over to Faust, who is currently like basically just has been chilling. Well, actually, no, you're not at your estate anymore. You're at the home in New York.
No, we went back to the estate.
Oh yeah, you went
Talk to
back
Mr. Wright.
Okay, so yeah, he is there.
You are DMing this session.
I'm sorry, you guys have moved around a lot. This section.
Wait, so we're back at...
the Pemberton estate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were. For some reason, I thought you were at the New York.
No.
I did too, for some reason.
Yeah, not really much of anything changes.
So, there's
So-
not a doll here.
So
He just knows we have the...
we brought the doll with us when we went to
Yeah.
the estate.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's not like its original location.
So we're going
So Faust is there. He's been staying at one of the guest bedrooms.
to cast Great Ward on the door. We're gonna push some fucking furniture up against this door, and we're gonna grab some guns and get ready to fucking.
So Faust is like, what is going on? Why do you need me to cast in these spells?
Because apparently something's going to be breaking through that door in a bit.
Glances over at the door, looks at you and says, "Well, I will cast the spell when it arrives. If I were to cast it now, it would fade."
Then we're going to push stuff on top of the door to keep it from getting through.
Alright. So you begin barricading
Bookshelf.
the door. I don't know if there's necessarily a role for barricade.
Is there a make? Is there a build?
There's an art craft.
Is it considered
And so
art?
just roll a general D100. We'll call it a luck. Roll me a luck. And this is to determine how well you can place things and the quality of what you have.
Can Parker roll?
Yeah, Parker can help.
I failed it.
Let's go. That is definitely a
Okay.
success.
Yeah, so Parker
He's
kind of
built a
like
barricade
picks up the
before.
slack as the two of you are trying to make a solid barricade. About an hour and a half passes.
Gun at the ready. We are
Yeah, gun at the
stocking
windows
lever carbine like at the ready, loaded.
ready. And what is the window situation?
Like I said, I locked it.
I mean,
but
I would assume they're fucking like shuttered. It's a plantation house,
Mhm.
so it's probably got like shutters and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, do you have it like cracked at all so you can see through?
Oh hell no,
No.
hell no.
We've locked every door, every window.
Yeah.
Barricaded everything.
We have an hour and a half to do that. Oh yeah, 100%.
So, is there anyone up on the roof or anywhere like?
Is there? Oh yeah, there is a way to get through because Bo chased you on the roof.
No, not here. You didn't.
Oh fuck, that's right.
No, I'm asking if there's anyone like on the upper story so you can like see down, maybe siege style, like
I
shoot
guess.
down at an enemy.
I guess Darlene can run up there.
Okay. So Darlene, if you're up there, I take it are you looking through a window or not?
We can use like the top levels of the windows.
Sure. Just like here's the window. She goes.
I think that's what we could do, like with the the second levels of the window.
Try not to get.
So, Darlene, you are the first to see it. The others are waiting inside the house.
Guns.
Your only indication that anything is out of the ordinary is a thudding sound on the ground as it begins to approach. You see this creature that you've seen before. It stands roughly probably 12 feet tall. It is bipedal with backwards legs, cloven hooves. It has 2 sets of arms on a massive torso. The smaller set of arms set at the ribs, and the larger set, which it uses to walk occasionally on all fours, especially when it's running.
So
Right now, it seems to be moving slowly towards the house, as if trying to sneak.
So if I hear thudding, Annabeth and Ruth are still here, correct?
Yep. You didn't really have time to get anybody out.
I'm going to tell
There's,
them.
of course, the gate.
I'm going to tell them to.
Fuckery.
I'm going to tell them to hide in one of the guest rooms. Make sure they lock the door.
Okay.
Barricade it. Yes.
So, another detail that you see of this creature is that you've never really gotten a good time to look at it, right? You've always seen it when
running.
Running, driving, generally running away from it. Now you get a good look as it moves
It's
slowly.
trying to sneak. It's 12 feet tall.
Yeah.
We didn't claim it was smart.
You can see that it is covered in reddish brown, golden hair that seems to sway in a wind that's not there. You can also see that its head, which is almost comically small, ends in a massive, very deadly looking horn. But perhaps the most disturbing thing of all is that it seems more like a combination of people, as if someone took infected people and just sort of mashed them all together into one large beast.
Dope.
Yeah.
Sort of a Frankenstein's monster of...
All I can think of is Melvin had those experiments. Like, Faust, bitch, what did you do this?
And just, you can have a reference. There's that boy.
Oh my god, the thing is horrifying. What's its stats?
You don't need to know.
What's its stats?
They're not good, though. So, that thing slowly approaches...
Wait, it looks dumb? Guys.
That thing slowly approaches the door. And then the thudding, which you hear,
Faust,
stops.
do you want to start to cast Great Ward on the door now?
I am casting it right now, and he, begins to cast the spell. And then you hear a soft knock at the door.
Can Darlene
This
see
is the police. Open up.
Is Darlene seeing this?
Darlene, you don't see the door. Imagine there's an awning over the door, so you can't see anyone standing at the door.
Gotcha. But did I see the rhino thing,
Yeah, you see it. It is now just standing, basically waiting.
Like I said before, I've never met a Bodine Smalls in my life.
There's another long moment, and you know what we want. Hand it over, and no one has to die. If you don't, there's a long pause. Ruth will be the first one to die.
It's okay, we've already seen her almost die 3 times. That's okay, we're fine. We can do that, Ruth.
And I
You
think if we don't say
have
anything,
made a fatal mistake. You have threatened a member of the Pembertons. And we go down fighting.
So it is then. And then something massive crashes against the door.
Can I eat?
We'll get to that. We'll get to that
Okay.
next session. So
Next. Hello there, friends. It's Benedict Pemberton. Hope you liked the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for future content. And I hope to see you soon.